insure ships worldwide. It's one of the biggest business. Are you there?
No, I'm listening to you.
Yeah. So the shipping company saying, don't play with our money, because if you go through that strait and anything I'm to you, we're not covering you. Matter of fact, we're not covering anybody going through the streets. So look, shipping lockdown. This morning we wake up, oil is $100 a barrel and increase it. Everybody betting on oil futures. Because the longer the war prolongs, if this war goes on for 2 more months, we are waking up to $220 a barrel. Can you imagine?
$220 a barrel. God.
You laugh. You laugh.
God, no, because it's kind of unbelievable. It's kind of unbelievable,
bro. $220 a barrel oil crashed the world economy instantly. All of those third world countries, it's like they can't afford it. They can't afford electricity. They can't afford petroleum. Oil, the equivalent of oil in Jamaica would be like $10, $12 a gallon. Imagine if the Jamaican people wake up tomorrow morning and oil is $12 a gallon. No, gas is $12 a gallon. And in America, gas will be $7 a gallon. Imagine gas $7 a gallon.
Gas better not ever get to $7 a
gallon. Uber would be dead. You know that. Because nobody could afford to drive Uber. Yeah. Uber would be dead. Right? The bus, the state inside, they say, we need to pay for this gas for these bus. Trucking, diesel, if normal gas is $7 a gallon, diesel is going to be $8.59. Right? So because $1 a mile, because most trucks getting 6, 7, 8 miles per gallon of gas. So because $1 a mile to transport stuff. So things going across the country, just in gasoline alone, not wear and tear. If somebody coming from New York to Miami with goods, just gasoline alone is going to cost $2,500. Just the gas alone. No,
you said New York to Miami?
Yeah, New York to Miami. It's how much miles that? About 2,000 miles, right? Yeah.
Roughly.
About 2,000. So the gas alone will cost $2,500. That don't include the wear and tear on the truck, and don't include the driver. So instantly, everything across the board is going to increase like by 30%, 40%. Inflation. Your boy dumb. I'm not calling your boy out of this because you vote for me. I'm calling your boy because it's our president as a person. Our president dumb as shit. And nobody thought long term.
Nah, I think on top of nobody, what's the word? I think on top of nobody thinking long term, I think nobody thought that it would get to this point. I think even you, like I hear people from the Democratic side or the liberal side or the people that don't vote at all. I hear people saying all the time, like, oh, he's dumb, he's dumb, he's stupid, he's stupid, he's dumb, he's dumb. But I don't even think you could have thought, I don't think y'all even thought in your honest moments that y'all thought this is where the United States would be right now. I don't think that's real.
No, because nobody would think that.
Because I think y'all would have fought hard. Y'all would have fought hard. Well, put it like this. If y'all would have thought, if Democrats and liberals would have thought that this is where the United States was going to be, black people in mass voted for Kamala Harris roughly 90%. If the rest of the world in their mind would have thought that this is the rest of the United States in their mind have thought this is where we would be, then she doesn't lose 8. She doesn't lose all the swing states. And he doesn't get 312 electoral votes.
Because
so I think,
No, but if you think about it, fundamentally, if you think about it, the last election was kind of a race election, you know, where black people understood that this man is a racist, right? Most black people understood that he was a racist. most black people understood that this man is not coming with nothing new. It's not because it was primarily Democratic, because you saw it before. But you and I know that all of them is racist. So we don't use that as a measuring factor most of the time.
I don't use that as a measuring stick.
You use policy. Because when I said that all of them, Reagan, XYZ, was racist, right? Because even last night, even yesterday, we was talking about the Iran conflict and people asking coming in. People don't understand that in 1961, Iran had a democratic elected prime minister. And the first thing this Negro said, this San Negro said, was, listen, the oil is ours. Why are we only getting 15% and Britain is getting 85%? So I'm going to nationalize the oil and take ownership of it. And Britain and America said, no, no, no. No, no, no. God put our oil under your land. It's not your oil. Blame God for putting our oil, British and American oil, on the Arab land. And we are going to secure our oil. So the first thing they do, they sanction him, right? They cut off trade. Because Iran had the best developed oil field. This was before Saudi in 1951, after World War II, when Britain was broke. Because after World War II, 1948, Britain was broke. And how are you going to take away the oil that we're going to take? What's going to take us out of our financial condition? How dare you, Iran? I am broke. I just spent billions of dollars fighting a war. And now it's 51. No, I was planning to use your money to pay for my war. So guess what? They sanctioned him. And with the sanction and all the bullshit, I know that he became a tyrant, which is true. But when you lock down the man country and sanction him, then and then now you spread propaganda in the country, and 3 years later, you lock him up, you try him, you imprison him, house arrest for the rest of his life, right? Because the first attempt failed, the second attempt you house arrest him for the rest of his life. And then you reintroduce the Shah, an American greedy little puppet who like fancy cars. He was a greedy little puppet. Him come like the Saudis now. When you look at the Saudis, Saudi Arabia should have the best universities in the world, should have the best hospital in the world, should never have people begging on the street. But yet, no, all of these princes who own $300 million yacht and 20 Rolls Royces and Ferraris, and Michael Richard Mille watch and Rolexes. It's all about things. The family of Saudi. Them don't do nothing for the country, really. Where's the free university in Saudi Arabia? I don't know if they have it. But I'm just asking, right? People in the street begging in Saudi Arabia. Who are you supposed to be begging? Are you pulling out billions of dollars a day out of the earth? But where the money got to? Right? So now, after Britain kick out, putting back the greedy Shah, who for the 2500 anniversary of the Persian Empire, throw a party in the desert that is equivalent to nearly $750 million today money. For all of these dignitaries worldwide, they were giving out gold watches and gold pins and gold medals and silver commemorative medals to people. It was this big shindig in the name of vanity, while people were starving, while people never have hospital, while people never have housing. You throw a party for 750 million, and they give back Britain 85% of the oil because they put you back in power. And you're in there for 25 years until the people have realized that, no, man, this greedy bastard is about himself. Because the 15% that left, him taking most of it, it wasn't about the people. So guess what? The Shah who they kicked out, the Ayatollah who they kicked out early and was in Europe, was, coming back and say, listen, we're going to get rid of this bullshit artist. We're going to get rid of them. Boom, the people revolt, kick him out. The Americans mad. Ayatollah came in and said, listen, no more decadence. We are now a religious state. It's not the perfect state, but the people them choose. The people them choose. No more decadency. Right? We improve our educational system. The best education in the Middle East is in Iran. We improve our hospital system. The best hospital system. I'm not talking about Israel. Israel, because Israel owned free and America pay for it. But other than Israel, the best education, the best hospital system, right? The best standard of living is in Iran. Granted, them, huh?
Hey, you got to qualify that statement. wait a second. Wait.
No.
I heard you, stupid. I heard you. Trust and believe. I heard you. I was typing something. I'm actually working on something that I'm listening and we gonna converse. But I'm letting you get your shit off because it's rare in the Discord you can get your shit off. So get your shit off. But you just said, what about Iran? Because I want to go back to that point. You said Iran second to who?
Israel.
Okay, Iran second to Israel is what?
Best education system in the Middle East.
The best education system where?
In the Middle East.
In the Middle East.
Yeah.
Okay.
The best education system in the Middle East.
Hold on. Let me grab the chat real quick. Keep your thought. Do not forget that thought. I want you to stay right there. Shouts to Mansa. Says, are you serious? She said this shit and you brass. I hate when people type how they talk. Are you serious? She said this shit and you brass. I could hear him fucking my name up as he's typing. And you brass was talking about she not black. Man, we had the warnings. You ignored it. Man, we had the warnings. What you talking about? Oh, Kamala. Oh.
He's talking about Kamala. So I said this.
I mean, you know what's funny? I've seen her on different, what's the names, talk about her color or talk about who she was. She talks about how she became an adult at the time. But I'm going to go find that clip. I've never heard a black woman on a cooking show say she was Indian. And I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna go back and find that clip. I don't know.
Yeah, but
I concede that she's black. But I know I want to hear her what she say. But go ahead.
No,
hold on, wait. Shouts to Butterfly Gypsy. Thank you for your daily watching, Butterfly. And you always say greetings, handsome brothers.
Yeah. So
I appreciate that. But go ahead, back to Iran.
Yeah. Apart from Iran being a religious zealot state, which we agree with, many of us don't like this religion thing. But listen, if these fundamentalists, white America, had their way, America would be a Christian zealot state also. There wouldn't be an abortion. They would go back to women staying home, women not going into the workplace. It would be red pill.
What we can't do though, stupid, is we can't talk about what is going on in Iran
versus what
people want to happen in the United States. Bro, I want to tell you a short because when you said that thing about Iran, do you know right now? I be trying to humble myself out as much as possible, right?
Yeah.
Do you know right now? Iran has let me look up this story. I'm gonna get the exact information because it deserves respect. But Iran has a women's team
in Australia.
The women's
soccer team is currently in Australia.
That are going that believe. All right, hold on. I wanna talk about this, right? Hold on, stay right here because we want to talk about how great Iran is. I wonder if I share my screen and talk, will they still be able to, you understand what I'm saying? Hold on.
Talk about what you learn about the soccer team.
Okay, so, it involves them dying. So, but I want them to see it too. I don't want it to just be me. Contrarian, what up? DQ, what up?
What up?
Wait, matter of fact, I gotta test this. I want to test this. If you're in the chat, tell me if you can still. If you're in the chat, tell me if you can still hear me.
What's good? Yeah, how is across the river? I like the people who live on the other side of the river. Yeah.
All right.
Well, let me continue talking about era.
Keep talking and tell me if y'all can hear what's in there.
Yeah.
Keep talking.
Yeah. So apart from Israel have the best everything in the region. We know why. America put in the bill. Right? And there is one. How many people live in Israel? About 10 million? We're not sure. I'm not sure. About 10 million. Right? But they have the best everything. The education free, healthcare free. So we're not comparing to Israel. Israel is an outlier. Right? But Iran doing them stuff. It's always about the oil. It was about the oil from 1975 when the Ayatollah came back. Was it 79 when the Ayatollah came back after nearly 25 years of this greedy Shah and said, listen, the oil is ours. We're going to take the oil. What America did after that. The conflict between Iraq and Iran. People didn't understand that Iraq was armed by the Americans. Iraq is a smaller country, dumber people, right? The dude who they killed at the end of the Iraqi conflict, Saddam Hussein, he was like Noriega. He was an American puppet. He was there fighting Iran for years. And America was arming him for years. The poison gas that he used, where he got the chemicals from? Who taught him how to build the gas?
Right? But what are you trying to say right now, though? I hear you. I'm listening to you, but what are you trying to say right now? We got a Marine in the building, so be careful.
Yeah, I'm saying that the problem that exists in the Middle East is primarily of greedy white people, Anglo-Saxons, who caused that problem. Because that country, from there, recognized that oil was there, and oil was important for the industrialization process that was happening in the West. They decided that, listen, we are not going to be fair with these people. If they were fair with these people from day one, to say, listen, let's go into a partnership for the resources that you have. But no, they wanted it all. How is it that you're going to come and take my oil and only give me 15%? It was like record deals, right? It was like record deals. When black entertainers in the past produced some of the best songs ever, they were getting 10 cents on the dollar, 15 cents, 5 cents. Some artists even get 1 cent on the dollar. That means I create the art and you pay me 1 cent and you make 99 cents and you build super buildings and skyscrapers off the back of other people, IP, intellectual property. That's what they were doing to Iran. Is it fair? Is it fair that TLC sold nearly 10 million albums and didn't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out of.
But what are you? But where you? But I still you losing me. Where are you going? Where you going? I hear you. But
I'm
we
going
talking
to
about war. Now you bringing up PLC.
He's not going nowhere.
Where are you going? Now you
nowhere.
I'm going.
Somehow we was talking about Iran. Now we talking about PLC.
No. I'm talking about the West is the reason why we're at war now.
He's going across the river. That's where he's going.
So you think the West? You think the West is the reason why we at war right now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Stay right there. Do you agree, Contrarian? Do you agree?
Say don't.
You on mute, Contrarian, if you talk.
Don't go chase.
I'm mute, Contrarian.
Nah, I don't know what he's talking about. I didn't even understand what he's saying.
All right. So you don't believe that is America's war? It's because of Iranian oil and Iranian resources why we're at war with Iran.
There's multiple reasons they're doing it. Multiple reasons, man.
What's the most? Tell me the primary reason. Tell me the primary reason.
Fix your microphone, Contrary. Fix your microphone.
Yeah.
Because we are live, so you got to be a little bit loud.
Contrarian, we're live. Tell me the primary reason why we're at war with Iran. In your mind.
In my mind, it could be the nuclear, to stop them from getting nuclear weapons. It could be a lot of things. We don't know. We don't know.
I don't know.
And you see, that's a problem. 19 years ago, we got yellow cake. And we got the same, and it found out to be a lie. And we get the same yellow cake. Right? How many times the boy going to cry wolf and you're going to believe him? How many times are you allowed to cry wolf? To go into the middle of the city and cry fire, fire, and there is no fire. Right?
What are you referencing? What are you referencing though? What are you referencing?
I'm reference to America has cried wolf before, and they're crying wolf again. You understand the saying crying wolf?
Yeah, I understand the saying. Are you referencing weapons of mass destruction?
Weapons of mass destruction, yes.
Okay.
Because even last night I researched the reactor that.
Well, let me ask you something, stupid. Why did Obama go over there and negotiate with them then if they wouldn't create weapons of mass destruction?
Obama wasn't looking at today. Obama was looking at long term.
No, he signed
Obama. He did not find any. That's a lie. That's a lie. He did not find any.
What I'm asking you, why did they sign the treaty? Why did
everybody was signing? Oh
no.
Okay,
Listen, what I'm asking you. Why did Obama sign a treaty with Iran? I want you to tell me the reason.
Because Obama is.
Because it was about their nuclear. They was trying to establish a nuclear weapon. So he stopped them from doing it. They came to an agreement.
You see,
the difference fight back now. Hey, fight back now.
Let me fight back.
So just so we're clear for the chat, what Barack signed was Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action in 2015, and the main reason why he did sign it was to prevent Iran from getting a nuclear weapon without going to war. So his goal. So hold on. So his goal was to slow or block Iran's path to a nuclear bomb. So before that deal, hold on. I want to give the background. I want to give the actual background and then let the chat and everybody else decide. So before the deal, please, you got to mute.
Oh, sorry. The people cooking the grass.
No, that's cool. Before the deal, intelligence agencies they believed Iran was getting closer to the ability to build nuclear weapons. So in that agreement, I got the specifics of it up. The agreement forced Iran to cut its uranium stockpile by 98%, reduce centrifuges, Those are machines used to enrich uranium, limit their enrichment to 3.67%, far below weapons grade, and allow international inspectors into the nuclear facilities. That goal was to increase the breakout time that they would need from a few months to at least a year. So essentially, they wouldn't be able to go from wherever they are in their program to a nuclear bomb within a shorter period of time. They wanted it to at least be it would take them about a year. They also did this to avoid a war in the Middle East. They also did this to trade sanctions relief for nuclear restrictions. So it was essentially a swap. Iran agreed to the nuclear limits that Obama put on them, and then the U.S. and the allies lifted the economic sanctions, because that's really how we've been killing Iran without going to war. We've just been basically crippling their economy. So if you damage their economy, that's like a leverage piece. And on top of that, this is the most important part. It wasn't just the United States. This was the United States, the UK, France, Germany, Russia, China, along with Iran, and it was endorsed unanimously by the UN.
That's why you can't listen to these dudes off the block, man. I keep telling y'all, these dudes on
all
the
right,
block.
can I speak now?
Go
Can
ahead.
I speak now?
Go ahead.
Because there's two things nobody takes into consideration. Yep. And I'm just going to glaze over one. The capability of the nuclear reactor that Iran has. Iran has a nuclear reactor. And if you look at the capability of the nuclear reactor, all of them agree that it's not the most capable reactor in the world. But the second thing I'm going to address is the question they asked: why did Obama make a deal with Iran? Although the capability of the reactor is not the best, over time it will be capable of producing enough enriched plutonium to create a bomb.
Correct.
Right? It's not right, but it will take time because everybody knows the capability of the reactor. If you read up on that, if you research that, you'll realize that, then basically have a shitty reactor was built by the Russians. Right? But what Obama is, and people not take into this consideration, Obama is a very smart man. And Obama was able to see the future. Because when asked, what keeps you up at night? Obama said, Pakistan and India. And he did not want to have that same situation in the Middle East as existed in Pakistan and India, where you have two nuclear powers staring down each other's throat every day. So he said, listen, I don't want that relationship to form between Iran and Israel. So he became very proactive, because the shitty reactor would take many years before they develop a bomb. Because when people talking about 40, 50, 60%, and they had all of this, those are just numbers. Because when they said they reduce the amount of plutonium that Iran had by 95% or 90%, enriched plutonium or enriched uranium, whichever one you want to say, right? It wasn't much that they had. And they readily give it up, because to enrich that heavy element, it costs a lot of money. We're talking millions and hundreds of millions of dollars to build all of those centrifuges in order to enrich it. If you look at what a centrifuge is and the amount that you need to produce even a gram of enriched material, is billions of dollars. And people say, all right, I'll give it up, I have no problem. Obama was forward thinking. There wasn't anywhere near a bomb, nor had the country, the Ayatollah, really wanted a bomb. Right? They didn't really want it. There was never a bombing issue.
That's what he said with his mouth, though. His actions didn't prove that he didn't really want it.
Hey,
no, it's action after, not before. Because before, when the IOC went in there.
No, but I agree. Hold on, Supees. Yeah. Now, let's be real. Let's and then we're going to go to contrarian. I want to mix it up before everybody get in here and start conflating conversations. I heard this yesterday when y'all said it, and I didn't give no pushback because y'all were screaming at each other. But when we say Iran, after we pulled out of the deal, decided to go past the 3.67, if Iran, okay, what game necessarily are they playing? because if they actually don't want, if they don't want nuclear weapons, if they don't want to use nuclear weapons, and on top of that, they actually believe it's against their religion, that it's haram. He had to cast a fatwa. I wish Cuban was here to explain this, but he had to cast a fatwa to prove to the world, I guess, or his people, they have nuclear weapons as basically against their religion. But then somehow, the only thing that we got to do to get them to go past this fatwa and all of a sudden it not be haram is to leave a deal. So what am I like if they want nuclear weapons?
Because you're not being fair in your reasoning and you're not being fair in your logic.
Go ahead.
Because if you're being fair in the logic, and I'm going to use the most simplest term to explain it to you, you feel safe until somebody breaks in your house. And what America did with the big deal is akin to a robber breaking into your house. After a robber breaks into your house the first time, and you start feeling unsafe, what would you go and get, brass? Be honest. If your house, safe, feel good. A robber break into your house. You didn't have a gun. What's the first thing you start thinking about after that robber
alarm system, a gun, I get you.
You're going to, beautiful. So after they made the deal, and these people now, everybody was calm, nobody was talking about use of force. Everybody was saying, we're going to adhere to this deal. And you feel good, you feel safe, all of the protocols in place to protect you. But then, all of a sudden, they say, listen, those protections that we're offering don't mean shit anymore. You're not the mercy of us. What are you going to do? You're going to get some alarm systems and you're going to get a gun. It's natural human behavior. You talk on this panel about human behavior all the time.
Right.
And you cannot expect people not to behave accordingly when you become distrustful. And America became distrustful. You couldn't trust those Caucasians anymore.
So their politics,
because the word don't mean shit.
So question. This is a question, not a statement. Don't want to get the contrarian or DQ, whoever want to talk. So would you say that then their politics overtakes the religion then?
No, they need to survival. There's survival.
No. But do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but you're using a word like politics.
What am I trying
politics.
to say? Change the word then. But what am I trying? But ask me what am I? Right, I just need to know you know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I understand what you're trying to say.
So tell me.
Trying to say that. You're saying to me that how can you lose your belief system based on the actions of others? If you fundamentally believe in and you say God going to protect you, why all of a sudden because I break my deal, God not going to protect you anymore? You change your mind.
No, not stressed like that. What I mean is, now I don't know what a fatwa is. Listen, I'm uncomfortable sometimes having these conversations, right? I'm glad we got Contrarian and he's willing to contribute because we talk a lot about war and we talk a lot about the military without people from the military.
Representation.
Right, and we talk a lot about Muslims without Muslims being in here. So Astro, if you watching and can contribute, I'd like your thought on that too. But we can put a pin in that. But my question is not the safety aspect, or do they predict that God's gonna believe? I'm saying if the Ayatollah, I was about to say casts, that's disrespectful as hell, issues a fatwa that Iran, it's against our religion to use nuclear weapons, have nuclear weapons. I'm not saying about God protecting them and this, that, and the other. My question is simply, and we could put a pin in it and come back. Somebody write it down or something. We'll come back to it. But if he issued a edict, essentially, then I don't understand why. I don't understand it. I'm not saying I'm right or wrong, but me and you discussing it, I'd rather hear from a Muslim how important or how where does a fatwa fall in regards to how they run their daily politics? Because if a fatwa is as serious as I think it is, I would be confused. Then I would understand it politically as an American that hell yeah, I'm gonna keep doing the weapons I'm gonna go further. I'm gonna go past the enrichment since y'all want to leave the deal and use it as leverage. So I understand that part. What I'm saying is, if the fatwa is like very important in Islam, I don't understand why you would look at leverage the same way I would, being that you issued a fatwa. Why are you playing a political game the same way you playing a political game the same way Americans play? Hold on. We're going to put a pin in that. I want to get a Muslim on the panel. Hold on. I don't even want to discuss that. I want to get a Muslim on the panel. I know me and you can go back and forth, but we don't know. We need like Cuban.
No, I understand because a fatwa is issued by many imams. But some imams, although all of them say all of them equal, all of them not. Because sometimes it's the power to carry out the fatwa. Right?
Right.
Iran had the power to carry out the fatwa. And they were in accordance with the fatwa for many years. Because they had that nuclear power plant for many years. Many years.
But only using it as energy though.
And was using it as energy, even when from day one of possessing that, they could have started enriching uranium from day one.
Okay.
And there wasn't.
Hold on, Stu. Let's get we got other people here.
Let me say something, Brian.
Ask on here. And Contrarian, if you're gonna be doing these, bro, with all that goddamn gold and silver, take your ass down in Mississippi. I don't know if y'all still got Radio Shack or something.
I'm not in Mississippi.
You a goddamn headset.
No, I don't know why I'm doing that. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Best Buy or some shit. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you.
How did you let Stu Pease change?
I didn't let him do shit.
Hold on. Let me talk.
Go ahead. You got it.
How did you let Stu Pease change his position right in front of your face? At first he was saying America was crying wolf until you read the article. Shit is crazy.
I didn't change the position.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what?
Right.
These conversations do move kind of fast. Yeah. He did say Barack went. You didn't agree with what he said when he said why Barack Obama did that deal.
He was saying America crying wolf.
No.
You said that they was crying wolf. You did say that.
Let me put that. Yeah, I said that.
Good catch,
please allow me.
Good catch.
All right. Please allow me to fix that.
Quickly.
The Republicans, anytime a Republican administration comes to power, they have always been crying wolf. Is that a better assessment? Because when I said America, Barack never cried wolf.
I didn't say no. See, hold on. The words in here are important. So when you say always cried wolf, and we say no, the next point can't be. Well, they never cried. Come on.
No. I can tell you.
You said they always cried wolf.
I am saying that the Republicans, but anytime the Republican administration is in control of the government of America, they have always cried wolf on Iran. But they want to be Ronald Reagan.
We're not talking about Republicans.
No, because Obama didn't cry wolf. Obama didn't cry wolf.
No, listen. You said, hold on, Haskell, we'll go right to you. We're not talking about Reagan, Trump. We're not talking about George Bush, senior or junior. We're talking about Barack Obama. We was talking about, he said when they signed the deal, it was to stop Iran.
And I said Obama was being proactive. I answered that question.
2 P's.
Go ahead.
Hold on. But we was talking about the time around the deal. And you didn't say Republicans. You said America. So the president of the United States of America at that time was Barack Obama. You said we were trying war. No, he didn't. Why do you think two P's? Why do you think he brought up this ain't a question, because I want to go to Haskell. He brought up that Obama got that deal done to use diplomacy to stop them from creating nuclear weapons. That was his statement, based on you saying that they were just crying wolf. So before we go to this long argument and this, that, and the other,
because he was making it like they were faking with the mass destruction, weapons of mass destruction.
Which they were. But this is the question I want to ask Brass. Because I said, when it comes to,
I don't want to answer much. I got to moderate today, Haskell. I can't really participate.
It's kind of rhetorical. It's kind of rhetorical anyway.
Okay.
First of all, from what I'm gleaning, Crying Wolf is basically throwing out false flags, right? Whether it be, oh, this country has weapons of mass destruction. These dudes are terrorists, but they're not, or they have weapons of mass destruction, but they don't, or they're enriching uranium, but they're actually not, and you're lying, right? So let's establish that first, and then I want to keep going. Are we agreed upon that Crying
That's
Wolf?
what I mean.
That's what it means.
That's
Okay,
what he means.
Perfect. So I like to ask the politically astute, particularly in the area of political history, if the assertion that Stu Pease has made is basically true, that throughout the annals of United States history, the Democrat Party, as we know them, has never utilized these sort of false flags. I'm sure I could go Google and find some shit, but does anybody know off the top of their head similar instances where there was a sitting Democrat president or Democrat Congress and Senate, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, and they did something similar where they said, hey, these motherfuckers doing some shit. Like in World War I, they said the Germans was stabbing babies. That was some propaganda they put in the magazines, and they literally would have pictures of motherfuckers running bayonets through babies and shit. Right. And it goes to show you like how far propaganda has evolved, because me looking back at that today, I'm like, man, y'all fell for it. So I'm gonna reissue the question.
Okay, stay right there. I'm ready.
Yeah.
Good. I know you just see your question. Are you familiar with the Gulf of Tonkin?
I am.
Who was the president during the Gulf of Tonkin?
What's the Gulf of Tonkin? For somebody ignorant like me. And when did it happen?
All right, let me see if my memory is correct. Right?
Because I don't know if you want to do this, but I'm just you're asking a question that you don't. How can I put it? You're asking an open-ended question you might not want answered per se.
I definitely wanted answered, right?
So we brought up
from what I can remember, from my memory, I want to say the Gulf of Tonkin, without Googling, right? So if I fuck this up, y'all don't crucify.
No, we're not. This ain't a class.
I want to say the Gulf of Tonkin was when I believe the U.S. government and its allies blockaded, put a blockade around Germany, right?
No.
No.
Vietnam.
The Gulf of Tonkin, we brought it up the other day.
Okay.
DQ and them brought it up because we were having conspiracy conversations, right? And there's a theory that basically, in order to get approval for a war, to get people's sentiment, there's a name for it. I'll look it up after this. But essentially, the sinking of the Lusitania, the Gulf of Tonkin, right. Some people say the 9/11, that essentially you have to almost create an act to get the people's support behind you, even if you got to create it yourself, right? So they look at the history behind,
Go ahead, because I'm going to Gulf of Tonkin, but go ahead.
Okay.
Okay,
so it's a term for it. I'll look it up while Stu Pease is talking. But so you in the events that fall under it are the Gulf of Tonkin, sinking of Lusitania, 9/11. So basically, it's that the government creates this event, or allies, or whoever wants to go to war. It could be a group of people or one group that create this event that get the people's sentiment because they don't know no better. Because when you tell somebody that XYZ, when you say X sank our ship, then X is the devil, and now we got to go get them. Or like Stu Pease like to say, they're savages, but the event may not have happened that way. The Gulf of Tonkin is in regards to Vietnam. The U.S. claimed that north, like some, I think it was north. Well, I'll just say Vietnamese boats attacked U.S. ships in the Gulf of Tonkin, and they used the second attack to justify a real heavy escalation into Vietnam. But the findings later found out that the second attack likely never happened. The Democratic Party, because we're under Lyndon B. Johnson at the time. I know what you're gonna do, Stoopies. We can have fun with this. We can have fun, but let me just finish. We can have fun with this. But the president of the United States at the time was Lyndon B. Johnson. I know the man, but he was the president of the United States. I love talking to Stoopies. So like in the chat, somebody in the chat said false flag, right? Like a false flag. So, but what happened was based on the they passed this resolution called the Gulf of Tonkin resolution based on the second attack, and they expanded their operations into the war. But they truly believe that that's one of the largest cases of misleading diplomacy. I'm gonna go a little bit further, Stu, if you don't mind, but keep your thought. I would put the Cuban Missile Crisis under that too.
Okay.
And I want to throw in who was the president during Pearl Harbor?
The Gulf of Tonkin? No. We're not doing
that. I don't want to switch to Pearl Harbor. Hold on.
No. I want to. Hold on. The reason I'm asking is because you threw in. Hold on. So far we have the Gulf of Tonkin, the sinking of the Lusitania. What was the other one you mentioned?
I only brought up one.
Bruh?
I was bringing up the sinking of the Lusitania to talk to explain the false flag narrative. The only one I was explaining. The only point I brought up in regards to I was about to say Cuban Missile Crisis.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
I only brought up one. The Gulf of Tonkin. Because I'm looking, you said it doesn't happen for Democrats, so I'm going to that side of the aisle. The only one I brought up was Go ahead. What's your question?
Brass, let me say something, Brass.
Come on, y'all. We're
not cutting your talk. Look at you. You know that you died. You know that you died when they brought up the name Lyndon Johnson.
I don't know
one thing about me and you.
I don't know why. Go ahead.
You know why? Because one thing about you and I is that you and I are astute in politics. And we understand that when Kennedy was running for presidency, in order to win the South, he had to get a Dixiecrat. Because Lyndon B. Johnson served in the Senate from 1937, right, in the South. And we know that the South was Democrat during 1937 onward. The switch was made when the Civil Rights Bill was written. So essentially, Lyndon B. Johnson was a Dixiecrat. Would you agree with me or disagree with me?
Yes, I would agree with you.
Based on history. You would agree with me.
So before you keep going, before you keep going, so what I'm gathering is
y'all fucking up the conversation.
No, I'm not. So he wasn't a real. No, but I'm thinking just to kind of make it a little concise. It says he wasn't a real Democrat. Is that where this is going?
He wasn't a Democrat,
but he was a Republican. Okay.
He ran as a Republican. No.
There's a simple answer to that. There's a simple answer to that.
Yes.
Listen. There is a simple answer.
You know politics. Don't try
because
to.
If that's the case, no. Because if that's the case, Stoopies, since we want to do that, then the Republicans signed the Civil Rights Bill.
Hey,
we want to wait. No.
Yes.
You know what this remind me of, y'all?
Not Z.
If we're saying that Lyndon B.
Don't say Z. Don't say Z.
Let me finish. Let me finish, bro.
Yeah.
We're live. We're
live.
Let's show some kind of decorum.
Right.
Yeah.
If we're gonna say that he's a Dixiecrat when it comes to the Gulf of Tonkin, this is why I say, but you'll never hear me say, and you won't hear people say he was a Dixiecrat when he was working with Martin Luther King on the Civil Rights Bill. He was a Democrat, bro. So
okay,
you can't have your cake and eat it too, bro.
No, I can't. No, I'm going to show you how you eat a cake and have it.
So you can't just eat on that point.
No, because guess what? Because you use the Civil Rights Bill and you understand what the thing about Lyndon B. Johnson, and I love Lyndon B. Johnson.
And I don't think so, and I don't agree that Johnson was a Dixiecrat. I think he was a
No,
Southern.
I know you don't agree.
Okay.
I know you don't. I know you don't agree. But the thing is that although Lyndon B. Johnson, you need to research the president of the United States, was a crass man. He was very crass. He was a man who took meetings in the
he's from Texas.
While he was shitting. He didn't give a fuck about anything or anybody. He was a man of his word. And he was able to, and he was proactive. And he was able to recognize what was going on. He was severely anti-communist in his thinking and rationale. Said, right? I don't want. Let me stop because I sound like I have too much knowledge here. You're right, bro.
No. But listen to what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. But this is why I didn't want to go off into that because that's a whole other show. I want to stay on that point.
That's a whole other show.
Right. We can have the Lyndon Johnson. Is he a Dixiecrat? I think he's a Southern Democrat from Texas that was conservative before, but he didn't fall. I wouldn't put him as far. Dixiecrats was damn near MAGA then. Whatever MAGA is now, they were damn near.
He wasn't Atwater.
He wasn't right. Exactly. He wasn't Strom Thurmond. So I'm saying that was them. They wanted Strom Thurmond to be president of the United States. That's how far they were willing to go during that time.
And that's why the Kennedys chose him, because he was a response to a strong term.
Correct.
That's why the Kennedys chose him. And because he was heavily conservative in his thinking and in his voting,
specifically on
his history.
But stay right here.
Especially on race.
Stay right here. Stay right here. So so the Gulf of Tonkin would be a case of what you would call misleading diplomacy. The president was Roosevelt during Pearl Harbor. The Cuban Missile Crisis is sometimes was Kennedy. That's Kennedy. And the narrative at the time was that the U.S. force. I'm reading now. That the U.S. I hate that I got to say that now because of Chef. Shouts to you, Chef, wherever you at. The public narrative at the time said the U.S. forced the Soviets to remove missiles from Cuba. But later on, we learned that U.S. secretly agreed to remove nuclear missiles from Turkey, and they hid that from the public. So it wasn't presented as the truth. Hold on. But we have one more recent. Obama with Libya. The 2011 NATO intervention in Libya was justified partly by claims that Gaddafi was about to commit a massive massacre in Benghazi. Later, they realized that we exaggerated the threat and that we were actually using the intervention to turn it into regime change, and that wasn't the goal. So crying wolf is essentially a political, is not looked at as one or the other. Now, Haskell, I'm gonna land my plane right here. The reason why it does get looked at in Republican standards mainly is because weapons of mass destruction and that war was so large, so it overshadows all of it. It's definitely something that Democrats and Republicans have done in history. Go ahead.
Hey, Brass, I love how you make sure you win that one. That crying wolf is an American thing, not a Republican thing. I'll have to give you that. I can't see on that crying wolf is American and not only. I'll agree with you on that. But boy, I said that when you get to stick me, you pull out all of the guns. So guess what?
Because I know who I'm fighting.
Yeah, guess what? Gloves off now. I'm not fighting you now anymore. From today onward. Yeah, I'm full attention.
Shout to Logic, Kyle in the building. Contrarian, you can go at any point. Haskell, you can finish. Tony, can we hear your voice today and not you and Astro and your fucking holy war in the Discord? Go ahead. Go ahead, Haskell.
I was going to say, you know what the whole, that wasn't a real Democrat was eerily reminiscent of the whole. Them ain't the real Muslims. Them ain't the real Christians, right?
Good point. I like that.
So I mean, for me, I just know how human beings work and how power operates. I could go to the Louisiana and look up who was the president then, or go to Pearl Harbor, which they provoked and they lied about, right? And look up who was the president then and try to catch a nigga up like that. But I really don't need to do all of that because I just know intuitively it's just no way that all of the lying and fuck shit. Oh, it's just all the Republicans and the Democrats. That's literally just impossible. Right. So with that said, right, when we talk about the whole Crown Wolf shit.
Did you say wait?
What do you do?
What Roosevelt do you think I'm talking about? When I said Pearl Harbor.
In regards to what? The Tonkin shit?
No. You said that
Pearl Harbor.
You said that you could pull out who was president during Pearl Harbor if you
No. What I'm saying, I don't know off the top of my head who it was. Like I could go Google.
FDR, but he wasn't Republican either.
Yeah.
But that's my point though. This is the point though. You feel what I'm saying? Like I'm sure that I could sift through history and try to debunk what Stu P's basically his basic premise, right? This notion that all the Crown Wolf is some Republican shit. I'm sure that I could go through different incidents and here's a Democrat that did some shit. Here's a Democrat was in power when this Crown Wolf happened. A Democrat wasn't. But what I'm saying is, Brass, I'm not even finna do all that. You get what I'm saying? Like that shit ain't even necessary because I know intuitively that shit had to have happened. You get what I'm saying? I don't need to do all the research. Like I know that's cap.
What's cap?
The notion, the premise that is only the Republicans be on the Crown will fuck shit.
Yeah. Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So I don't even want to go down the road of going through history and here go a Democrat right here. I got you. Here go another Democrat right here with the fuck shit.
Based on your previous arguments, you pretty much. I like how you fight when it comes to this. When and I wish we could do that live today, but I hope one day we get back into that conversation. But I like how you fight on this. So you don't need individual points. But go ahead.
Yeah. That shit petty, really. But if we can all agree that fuck shit done occurred under both administrations, I think we could move from that point out to, okay, what are we going to do about it? What does it mean? What is our individual place in this shit? If we agree that some shit is a lie, okay, but my nephew finna go fight on that lie. My brother finna go fight on that lie. My son finna go fight on that lie. What do we do?
I like that. Keep going. I'm moderating today. I'm not cutting. If I start talking, y'all keep talking. I'm just moderating.
And another question is because I wrote something in the chat, to apologize to some people and stuff like that because I'm looking at it really, Brass. I like coming on here because y'all challenge me, right? And in turn, I challenge y'all. Y'all force me to think. Am I just on this bitch talking shit? What am I doing? Right? Because it's some bullshit going on. Like, that's just what it is. Now, if I don't go maverick like that Marine and get my motherfucking arm snapped up, am I a fake nigga?
Keep going, bro. I'm just moderating. I like being right here. Go ahead, bro.
I want, if anybody got some answers, I'm looking for answers, bro, because you said some real shit. You said some real shit a couple weeks ago, right? I had asked you, what does truly caring look? What would it look like? You said 1 million Americans in front of every state capital saying, motherfucker, stop this shit right the fuck now or else. Right? Now, my own personal feeling is like, man, that shit ain't finna happen. You feel what I'm saying? So what am I left to do? Come on here and talk shit?
Yeah.
Like, what do
I get that. I get that.
What do we do?
Yeah. No, I feel like that a lot. But go ahead. I don't want to. Hey, you mind if I read your comment? I didn't even know you put this comment. Can I read this comment?
For sure. Go ahead.
Yeah, hold on. I want to read this good shit. What up, Kyle? Whoever want to go next, Fetty.
What up?
Bro, this comment, I like this good shit. Let me see if I can actually. Can I show this shit without taking the audio down? Y'all can see the crazy ass Discord we got. Oh, by the way, shout to fucking Bam Adebayo. I don't know what the fuck got into him last night, but we gotta have that conversation.
Hey, you mean Corey McKinney? That nigga was on the Discord all day. hopped off the Discord and went and dropped 83 on
83.
Bro,
you talk, bro.
On the Wizard, on the fucking Wizard. It's not a big fucking deal. It's on the fucking Wizard.
Kobe's was against the Raptors. The Raptors was trash.
Hey, this is all I'm gonna say, dog. This is all I'm gonna say. You ain't never seen Corey McKinney and Bam Adebayo in the same room. Think about it.
They might be the same person. Corey do look like Bam Adebayo though. But hold on. So it says last couple days it forced me to look at myself. Everybody knows what's going on is 100% bullshit. What's been going on is 100% bullshit. What am I going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? I don't know. So I get on the internet and talk shit, get offended when somebody talks about my country of birth in a flippant manner, and seek retribution through disrespectful words. That ain't about nothing. Brass correctly said, truly giving a fuck will be 1 million Americans in front of every Capitol building saying, stop this shit right now. I know for a fact that sort of solidarity doesn't exist in this country, so what's the answer? Go out on some lone wolf sacrifice shit like this Marine or shut the fuck up? Are those the only two options to not be a phony? Smalls, I crossed the line yesterday. I'm truly sorry. But I can appreciate that shit. I wish we had motherfucking applause. I can appreciate that level of, what's the name? Because a lot of times we got to motherfucking humble ourselves. We be trying to like correct everybody else and tell everybody else what they talking about ain't shit. But in all actuality, the best we can do is just try to be, today's Tuesday, just be better than you was on Monday. My wife brought me cigars. Appreciate you.
Wednesday, Brad. Losing your days, bro.
I'm exhausted right now, just to let you know. But yes, today's Wednesday. I wanted to get a point out about something that's going on in Iran and people aren't really talking about it. But I want to allow y'all to talk real quick before I go. It's going to take me about 10 minutes to get my thought out. Well, about 5 minutes to get my thought out. So, and I appreciate that, Kyle. Amazing. Haskell. Kyle, you got something before I go? Logic, Fetty, y'all got anything on the topic before I go? Because I saw this story last night when I was, I got a notice saying Bam Adebayo was at like 30 in the first quarter. And then they said he was at like 50 and he was going for it. So I watched the rest of that. But I was watching something about the Iranian women's soccer team that I want to bring up. I think it changed my mind about what's going on right now in religious freedoms. But if somebody want to speak before I go, y'all go.
No, go. It's good.
No. I think we got people just joined in though. Kyle, you want to say something or?
No, I'm just listening. I appreciate it though. Peace to everybody.
Okay. So, all right, and I ain't trying to bring I don't want to bring the show down, right? But I want y'all to know there's a story right now that's not really being covered. And I'm not trying to judge Iran, but this pissed me off. And I don't think that we need to be going to war behind the reasons that these people are saying we're going to war. But right now, there are roughly, and I didn't want to freestyle this, so I looked this up on the Associated Press. There are roughly 13 Iranian women that are leaving I'm assuming this is the Olympics, to die. They're going home to Iran to die. They're going to be, the chances are, based on Iranian rules, or I don't know, that's why we need a Muslim in here. Somebody dropped the link in the chat. If you're somebody Muslim and you Cuban, Astro, Isonic's not Muslim, right? Isonic's not Muslim. So, no, he is Muslim. Yeah, he is Muslim.
Yeah,
right?
I think
Somebody to explain to me and justify, not justify, just explain, because you don't have to justify your religion. All our religions got some shit with them. But this is as of 8:48 a.m. this morning. This is the Australian press. This is the Associated Press in Australia. The Iranian women's soccer team left Australia without 7 squad members after tearful protests of their departure outside Sydney Airport and frantic final efforts inside the terminal by Australian officials who sought to ensure the women understood that they were being offered asylum. So last night, what I saw was women on a bus, Iranian women on a bus going to a plane that's headed back to Iran. That's the narrative. This is the Iranian women's soccer team. Well, the Iranian women's soccer team, they were holding phones in the windows, and on the phones, Haskell and whoever's listening to me, it said SOS. They were sending that out, and the Australians were trying to tell them or convey to them that we will offer you asylum. But this is why. As the team's flight drew nearer and they passed through security late Tuesday, each woman was taken aside to meet alone with officials who explained that they could choose not to return to Iran. Now, don't lose don't lose the story, because I'm not starting with the headline. Before the team traveled to the airport, 7 women had accepted humanitarian visas, allowing them to remain permanently in Australia, and were ushered to a safe location. One has since changed her mind, underscoring the tense and precarious nature of the decisions. In Australia, people were able to change their minds, says Australian Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke, who posted photos of the 7 women and granted them humanitarian visas. Now, you want to know why Australia was trying to, why they gave them humanitarian visas? Here's why. It was a dramatic conclusion to an episode that has gripped Australia since the Iranian team's first game at the Asian Cup soccer tournament, when they remained silent during their national anthem. The players sang the anthem before subsequent games and haven't publicly disclosed their views or explained their actions. But their silence was cast as a gesture of defiance or protest and an act of mourning by others. When those players were silent at the start of their first match in Australia, that silence was heard as a roar around the world, and we responded by saying, "You can stay here in Australia." That's what the Prime Minister of Australia stated. Here's the statement though, and this is what you would have to see. They got on the bus after that silence. I would read the whole thing, but I don't think y'all interested. But I think I should read the whole thing, but I won't. Y'all can go read it for yourself. Go look it up. These women were holding SOS up on their phone to the people sending them off, because they knew that they were going home to die, because based on Iranian, I don't know if it's rules, I don't know if it's Islam, I don't know if it's Muslim, but based on these regulations, for the simple act of them not speaking during, or them not singing their anthem at the Asian Soccer Cup tournament, they're going home to be put to death. And Australia understands that. The people that were trying to save their lives understand that. And I want to send some, I don't know if this is proper, but these might be this probably one of the bravest stories I've ever heard in my life. Because if you were offered visas, if you knew you were going home to die, to be put to death, and you still got on the bus, you had humanitarian visas, the country stated that they would allow you to stay, they offered you asylum, and you still didn't stay, and you still got on the bus, and you still got on that plane, knowing that you are going to your death. That is, we talk shit in these discords. We laugh, we joke. Some of this stuff I think is therapy. We want to get the shit out. Chef one time, I asked him, well, how did the conscious community get to how it got? Or do y'all hear the conversations y'all be having? And he made a point where he said, these are the only places most of the people that are saying this shit could get this shit off. They can't say it to their family. They can't say it to their friends. So it is what it is. I understand why we have these conversations. I understand how they get heated. But that is the level that we're talking about, trying to change the world. That's bravery. What we doing is just talking. I ain't heard a missile. I ain't seen a bomb. I ain't worried about it. I don't care about the price of gas and all of that shit. That's the level of war. When we talk about war and what it is, that's what that shit is. Just a simple gesture, bro. I don't think any of us is that brave. I know I'm not. I know I would have accepted that visa and stayed in Australia. I know.
So the rule they violated that's punishable by death is the fact that they stayed silent during the Iranian national anthem?
During the anthem, yes.
Okay.
So they're going
I'm guessing now my first the thing that comes to mind to ask is this codified in law somewhere in Iranian legislation?
So I looked it up, right? Let me try to find it in ChatGPT, but I looked it up. Y'all didn't know about this story? Y'all didn't know nothing about it?
No.
What do y'all think about that? While we look it up. Because there's a trust and believe, I'm going to look it up and I'm going to look for the facts, Haskell. But on this, if the Australian Prime Minister, he's offering them humanitarian visas in regards to their safety. I don't think it's posturing. And it's funny, it's crazy. Astro's from Australia. So I definitely, if Astro's listening, I'd like to hear that. But I'm going to find the law. But that's what I'm saying. We're discussing this. And I just like somebody closer to that religion to somehow explain to me. By them not singing the national anthem, I agree you should sing your nation's anthem. But I also understand Colin Kaepernick. Right? I do, because you can't be in a country that states that we have the ability to do protests and then also, protect our own civil liberties, but then also say, but if you don't sing the national anthem, we're going to kill you. That's a challenge for me. But y'all go ahead. I'm going to look this up for you, Haskell. What do y'all think about that? When we're talking about going to war with this place and nuclear weapons and this, that, and the other, I hate to say this, I'd be willing to go to war behind that. And I'm not talking about us and them. I'm talking about their own society. Like, can the men even? We need a Muslim in this Discord, bro. Because somebody tag Astro or Isonic or Cuban. Because I want to know, are the men even allowed to stand up for the women over there? Is that even something that could happen?
I'm going to say this, the way how my brain's set up, this reads as propaganda.
It's propaganda.
Okay, look it up. Let's flesh it out. I'm not saying I'm telling you what happened, and I'm telling you what the Australian Prime Minister believed that they were in grave danger. They believed they were in grave danger because they were putting SOS on their phones. So they understood the ramifications of whatever is about to happen. Y'all, we're saying in this Discord that we have some questions on it. Let's tackle it like any other topic with the understanding that we prefer to be involved.
Another thing that I'm thinking is if they're putting the SOS on their phone, you're putting SOS to say, you want help, right? I guess the message would be we want to basically secede from this evil regime. That would be the purpose, right? That's where my brain would initially go.
Yeah, that's a good thought.
So then I would wonder then if that's the case, how many of the women did the SOS thing? Two, why would I guess at least one of the women after doing that then show hesitance in wanting to go back? And then thirdly, why would you promote this story in the media if you're truly looking to help these women? If that regime is that evil to where they would take these women's lives for doing something like that, wouldn't the right course of action to be to do this smoothly and silently?
Well, I think what happened was, just my opinion. I'm getting some more information for you and try to get some sources of the Iranian statement, because I don't know if this falls under propaganda or not, but I think you would do that because they said they met privately with them individually. But remember, some of them chose not to take the visas, and then some of them chose not to take the visas, and then also shouts to Bayasa, shouts to Pure Black. Some of them chose not to take the visas, but then some of them also, there was a video of one of the girls that took the visa, but one of the Iranian women was basically grabbing her wrist and putting her on the bus.
See, that's why, bruh. That's why I say this shit. That's all first
it's
reaction.
It's so heart wrenching. It sounds like it sounds scripted a little bit.
Real quick, Stu. It sounds like some fake shit because, from my perspective, maybe it's because I'm a diabolical type of thinking ass nigga, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like when them passport bros and I be hearing them niggas getting robbed, I'm the type of nigga. If I was over there starving, I told Stu Peas this one time on a convo. I said, nigga, if I was one of them Colombian niggas, you know what I'd do? I motherfucking drug one of them niggas, get one of them hoes to run something up a nigga ass, film that bitch, and then basically that nigga had to pay me for the rest of his life, right? I think like that, right?
That's quite diabolical, by the way, but go ahead.
So this is how I would think with this shit, right? Because I try to be as forward thinking as possible, right? These women's lives are in danger. Mm-hmm. I'm trying to protect them. You know what I would do? It wouldn't, if I'm gonna put nothing out in the media, is I'm a gin up a fake story that says that we basically have, as the Australian government, these women have committed a crime or some shit, or I'd make it so they commit a crime and arrest them for it and convict them, or I come up with some other false flag shit, but on some noble shit. You feel what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's how my mind works. It wouldn't be to go on, have cameras showing a motherfucker not wanting to go, and then a motherfucker grabbing the. That's some WWE shit, man.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, whoever that is, Tony. Tony.
Yeah, I was doing some research, and the way you figure these things out is if you go into history and you go back and you say, well, has this ever happened to any sports teams in Iran? Same shit. And if you do that research, you're gonna find that it has happened. Here, I'll read it to you. Historically, Iranian athletes who cross political red lines have faced a spectrum of reprisals, from bans, intimidation, to detention, and in some high-profile cases, execution, which is why danger for the current women's team is treated as credible, even if individual outcomes are still unclear. Rights, it says long patterns since 1979. Right groups document decades of long pattern of Iranian athletes punished for perceived disloyalty, including exclusion from teams, loss of livelihood, arrest, torture, and executions, particularly politically tense periods. Iranian, so yeah, they got a history of this shit. So there's credence and credibility to what's going on here.
So you believe that there's a chance that they're going home to die, to be killed?
I don't believe it. I'm going by the history. So
no,
no.
I heard the history. I'm talking to you. What do you think?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I can't think otherwise because I'm reading what they did in the past. So to say something opposite is you're making up your own history.
Well, it says that Iran has executed people connected to protests. It doesn't mean that the athletes will be automatically killed, but I went and searched something that you brought up. There was a key example called of a person named Naveed Afkari. He participated in protests against the Iranian government in 2018. They accused him of murdering a security guard. Human rights groups said that conviction was forced and he was executed in 2020. Iran has harsh laws against propaganda against the state. Under Iranian law, people can face serious charges like propaganda against the state, insulting the supreme leader, acting against national security. These charges can lead to prison sentences, travel bans, professional bans, sometimes death sentences in extreme cases. Athletes are considered representatives of the states. So even if there's not so basically they're saying even if they don't give pressure to the athlete, they can give pressure to the families of the athletes, but that the killings are rare. More than likely, they'll be banned from competition, interrogation, house arrest, forced apologies on television, or exile. But the most important thing that they bring up is that because they're women, the punishment will possibly be more severe because it'd be a more serious transgression with them being women. That was just a little sidebar, Stupies. I don't know if you had something.
I will speak. Let me speak.
Okay, go.
All right. No, I read the chat GTP. What they said, and chat GTP made mention of that when the protests during wartime can be seen as treason in that country. Don't know if it's true, but let's take
Say it
the
again.
word.
I didn't make out what you said. What'd you say?
That if you protest during wartime, a protest against a country at wartime can be seen as treason. Right? That's what ChatGTP said, according to ChatGTP. But me living next door to Cuba and me being this old, I remember Cuban Olympians and baseball players running to America to seek asylum.
I remember that.
Right? But yet still, Cuba always have one of the largest contingency of athletes goes to Olympics, to countries, first world countries, United States, when it was held in Korea, when it was held in, and only a very few ever seek asylum. 1 or 2 or 3 out of 350. Right? Well, understand that everybody don't have the political belief. Right? The women protesting that were probably what was happening in Iran. I don't know what would happen. Probably the ringleader punished. And I'm not saying my moral integrity is one to rule out against the country. Right? Because these athletes are individual. But at the same time, I'm not going to swallow this lock, stock, and barrel as if it's gospel. As Truth just said, that in some cases and in severe cases, some athletes are harshly punished. And I believe that also. But I don't think the government is silly enough to kill the whole soccer team. That's grounds for a revolt. Would they punish them? Maybe. But it's Western propaganda. And especially in a time like this where
Australia,
the West. What is Australia?
No, I'm not. I mean, yeah, I know what you mean when you say Western. You mean us, the United States.
When I say West,
I know. I know. Listen, I know where Australia is, but the propaganda is Associated Press. That's us.
Yeah, but yeah.
Well, you mean Australia? You don't mean that it's propaganda put forth by us.
I mean, it's propaganda performed by white people. When I say Western, I am putting all white people together.
Stop.
White people is the West. Australia is a British colony. Although Australia is in Eurasia. Australia is a Western society. Yeah.
Your racism needs to be studied.
It's Australia and Western. No,
you're right. Australia is I get it, but listen to how far you got. Listen to what I had to say to get you to say what I know you tried to say in the first place. You said it's Western. And I said, is it Australia? I said, I know Australia's in the West, but you mean us. No, it's Australia in the West. I said, yes. And then you finally, because you knew where I was going.
Yeah, you know where I was going.
When I say West, I mean white people.
that is special. That's special.
You got a special level of hatred for white people.
No, I don't have hatred, but I'm acknowledging the truth. People, put your hands up.
Do not change because I brought it up. Stay who you are.
No. I'm trying to get followers. Leave me alone. Would you agree with me that when we say West, we mean white people? When we say West, do we mean white people? When we say West, we mean white people.
When we say the West, when they say the West, I think the difference is I agree. I agree. The connotation does seem you're white. I agree. But I'm saying when you say the West, you mean white and racist. Not just white. You mean white and Klan and white and Trump.
Hey,
white. You mean white in that level.
You know what it is?
Not just
what it is, Brass? I think that was just the most expedient, way to get that thought across. Because I know Stupi's ain't thinking. Because look, I know he ain't putting motherfucking Sweden and Luxembourg and Liechtenstein and the Balkan states and he put them. I know he ain't putting them into it, and they're white. But in general, we talking about white people.
Oh no, in general, we're talking about white people. Listen. And the exception don't break the rule, right? I ask you, the exception break the rule. No, the exception don't break the rule. We put it when we're doing maths. Einstein put in a figure because I know that there will be outliers in some of his greatest formulas. So the exception don't break the rules. Huh? Them white crackers. But we don't want to acknowledge in this room that these white people are crackers.
Oh, Jesus
Christ.
When you're in the room with them and you look at them smiling at you, I have never seen a white person smile at me and it reach your eyes. Anybody who tell me that they never see a white person smile at them and it reach them eyes, I want to know who that white person is.
And them
because I want them
what are you saying?
He said it reached their eyes. What the fuck?
All right, hold on, Stupi. I got to get off this rant for 1 second. See, hey, Stupi, I hope you know that you brought up 4 other shows I got to do just off some shit you just said. We got to talk about Kamala. We got to talk about all kind of other shit. Just put a pin in that for a second. So Bayasa put in the chat, and y'all can cut in if y'all want. I know y'all just listening, but y'all can cut in if y'all want. So from the Daily Mail, I think that's Western, hopefully not racist.
England, racist. The Daily Mail come out of England. Them the most racist white people in the world. Let's continue.
That 7 women ultimately accepted humanitarian visas, allowing them to remain permanently in Australia after what Australian Home Affairs Minister Tony Burke described as emotional. Hold on 1 second.
Tell you, 6 months later, they want to go back home. Them because sand niggas and
go ahead.
1,000 times. I can guarantee you that those women, when they dress in the burqa, will be called sand niggers and towel heads in Australia. I can guarantee that shit. Those sand niggers and towel head women.
Ain't Astro from Australia? And it's a lot. It must be a large Muslim population in Australia, though. Because Astro's from Australia, ain't he?
Yeah, and there's a sand nigger in Australia. That's why I'm coming on here to feel comfortable around real Negro. Because in Australia, Astro is a sand nigger.
My God.
And I need to feel comfortable and accept it. That's why I'm coming around real niggas.
Wait, so we're clear. It's not you calling them this. You're saying that's how Australia looks
That's
at
how
him.
the white Australians do.
Wow, the white
and they view the Aboriginal people as monkeys and uncivilized. Them racist white there. We must remember, they're a descendant of
Bro, they're calling you for, they're saying Stu Pease for president in the chat. What is wrong with y'all, bro? What is wrong with
Australia?
Y'all? President of
Australia. Australia was colonized by the most despicable people in the world. England emptied out the prisons and put them on ship and transported them. They use the word transport for what they did. And put those savages on. That's why they had no problem literally decimating the Aborigines in Australia. And the Aborigines in Australia now don't exist. There's no pure blood Aborigines left in Australia. The fuck the Aborigines out of them. Them racist people they ever talk about come online and say, oh, we're going to save these sand Negro women. We're going to save this old head. We're going to
so
save
that's
these
the narrative. Oh, so that's your property. I've been waiting on you for some reason, Stu Pease, today. I'm assuming because you're getting a larger chance to talk, and we all trying to not cut each other off. I think it takes you a while to get to your point, but you got to the point what you saying. The reason why you think it's bullshit is because why all of a sudden would the Australian people or the Australian Prime Minister give a fuck about these Arabians?
Fuck about sand niggas.
Where they wouldn't give a fuck about them any other time. I like that. Now that point right there calls to the hypocrisy, and I like that point. Hold on, let me go to the chat because the chat's saying some cool shit. Shout out to Vyasa. I need somebody to help me out with this show I want to do for Vyasa. About a document he sent. Actually, I challenge. Where you at, Kyle? Kyle still in here? I need Kyle for a show. I think I need Kyle for a show. This document he sent me, I think is something. Yeah. I'm gonna send you this document Vyasa sent me. I might need your help for a show. If you don't mind, if you're free in the next week or so. It's called the Blackout Report. I'm gonna post it in the chat real quick.
Okay, all right, bet.
So Vyasa put the fears after the team, so we read that. So here's the other part that we didn't bring up. So it says the fears come after the team has already suffered tragedy with player Zahra Azadpour shot dead while protesting in January, and the referee was also killed during the demonstrations. So apparently, Pure Black said it's the way of Allah. I hope you Muslim talking like that. It says 7 women ultimately accepted the visas. One has since changed her mind, underscoring the tense and precarious natures of their decisions. The idea of the Western powers. So Western powers is not geographical. Referring to us or hemispheres, it was a church division. So that's where he says West is Latin, East is Greek. Ramon says Stu Pease for president. It says Vyasa said most of Iranian women's soccer team left Australia after declining the last minute. Yeah, they mostly left. I'd love to see what's going to happen to them. Mongo Slade. Oh, you need to kill Slade. Slade said free oxtails and dumplings for everyone. And Stu Pease. Yeah. So I don't know. I figured I'd bring that up because we asked, I think Contrarian left. But when we talk about, mute up, Stu, when we talk about going to war with them, do y'all think that we should actually interfere? This is a question to the panel. Okay, so if it's not about oil, the show is, why are we at war right now? Is it Israel? Is it oil? Is it nuclear weapons? Stu P said it's a mix of all of those, but nothing that we should be going to war for. And some things that we're not discussing, right? The hypocrisy. Haskell, I think, maybe thinks it's kind of made up a little bit based on the terms, and we're just looking for a reason to kind of fuck with them and kind of push our brand of democracy over there somehow. Contrarian, former Marine, shout out to Contrarian Thinker. He stated, like, no, they're about to get nuclear weapons. They're at 60%. They can go from 60 to 90% capability. We need to shut that shit down. And he also believes that the government, he used Obama signing the deal in 2015 as an example. Why do y'all think that we are at war? But then I want to pose a second question. This is to Kyle, if you could talk, Slade, if you could talk, Smalls, or Truist. Or Truist, people who haven't spoken yet, or Tony. Or do y'all think, as a two-part question, why do y'all think we at war, and give some kind of supporting evidence to your point? And then my second point is, based on how they treat women over there, and I know this is probably very polarizing, but based on the treatment of women over there, how do y'all feel about trying to change somebody's religion that we may consider barbaric, or do we even have the right to call somebody else's and how they practice their religion in their own country barbaric? I'm calling on you first, Kyle, if you could talk, because me and Kyle had a conversation before, and it was essentially, he got all the way to where it was like leading people alone. I want to know if you feel that same way in regards to that. Shouts to Chef. Chef said he's doing a show today on why black people vote majority Democrat. We don't have another viable choice, and he's going to prove it. Shouts to you. Didn't he do that already? I saw in the chat somebody said he had done that show like the other night or something like that. But okay, shouts to you. I'll check it out most certainly. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah. So I'm gonna have to be kind of short, but
no, quick,
which is probably refreshing to y'all. Less Kyle, more y'all talking. But so I think that once we decide to go down that lane of controlling people's religion, we got to hold a fucking mirror up to ourselves. Because the same types of oppression, the same type of terrors and horrors that radicalized Islam has I guess manifested in the Middle East, we can point that same finger back to radicalized Christianity here in the West. So is more of a question is which type of oppression does the U.S. want to back at that point in time? And that's why I kind of hold to that point of leave them people alone. You know what I'm saying? In the Bible it says you got to take out the thing in your own eye before you can talk about the
yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah. But it's stuff like that, man. Like, we ain't got no reason, no way in the world. Now, if we're talking about saving lives and stuff like that, we that's one thing. But it's about superiority. It's about theocratic, I guess you would say theocratic suppression. You know what I'm saying? Theocratic power that's trying to be put into those world. Because once a person believes in a certain religion and you control that religion, it gives you absolute power over those individuals. But that's all I got for that, though.
I'll say on those two, on the first one, is deterrence. Even though Iran hasn't used all their top weapons, they've got them, and we don't. The nature of their warring, for them to have nuclear weapons is a really big risk for everybody around, based on their warring history. It's a super risk. I mean, we even offered them. When I say we, I mean the U.S. because I'm from the U.S. We even offered them to say, "Listen, man, we're not trying to stop your advancement. We'll help you with your fucking." We even offered to help them with their enrichment, and we would pay for the fuel to generate that enrichment. So as long as it's within the benefit of humankind, meaning it doesn't exceed certain thresholds. And they were like, nah, we're not with that. They're looking to build weapons. So, and then the second thing about the women, it's not really, I mean, it is, but more so it's about who owns the sovereignty of the land. You know what I'm saying? Like in, like here.
The sovereignty of what land?
Any land, any land,
like who owns the? So, give me an example.
Yeah, like Venezuela, right? The people own the sovereignty. They own that. They own the land, not people in office. Mm-hmm. So if the people are saying, "Get these fuckers out," and we have some benefit in doing that. Hey, we're going to go ahead and do that. But Iran, even though I don't know if the sovereignty is with the people, I think it's so crazy that the sovereignty is with the religion and the people are second. So it don't matter what they say, even if they are wanting freedom. It's a little confusing on that side.
So, your point. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was going to say, as Kyle brought up, radical theology in any form can be looked at and scrutinized, right? Even with radical Christianity. But the difference is, we know in different points of history there were radical Christian states, and we saw what they did and the atrocities those places did. And a lot of that led to why America pushed for a separation between church and state, right? So, but even with that, in this country, Christianity is not outlawed. We have freedom of religion here, right? So even when you don't have a religious state, that doesn't mean the religion necessarily has to be banned or outlawed within the country. So I don't even think that's necessarily what the U.S. is pushing for when it comes to removing the Islamic regime in Iran. It's not to completely outlaw Islam in Iran.
I agree with that.
So I think it's more so when you look around the world today, you don't see any radical Christian states, right? You have countries and states that have a large majority of its population that is Christian, but the government structure itself isn't a Christian state that is radical and attacking and harming its own people or people around them due to their theological beliefs. They try to justify it with other. They try to justify it with other dastardly political strategies, right? So with Iran, I think the problem more so becomes because even having a Islamic state, I don't think is necessarily a problem, because there's other Islamic states that don't treat its own nationals the way Iran treats its own nationals. I think that's where the issue comes in. When the theology becomes so radical that you start treating your own nationals and neighbors in a horrific way.
Thank you.
Hold on, Stu.
No, I just want to say thank you.
Please let me moderate. Please. Go ahead. Take 5 seconds, but then let me moderate. Go ahead.
Yeah. Thank you, Cheese Shots, for posting that. I mentioned that yesterday about the Iranian woman and the education. The comment that they tagged. Iranian women make up 60% of the country's university.
Shay Cuts, who is that?
It's posted. It's on the chat. It's YouTube.
No, I'm saying
If you
who is
watch it
Shay
on
Cuts?
YouTube.
I
don't know who
chef.
it is.
How you don't know that?
I know.
Chef Fred. Chef Fred. Thank you, Chef Fred. Thank you. No, I'll wait till last.
I was trying to get him to say chef, Haskell. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. No.
But I don't understand what the point of that. I don't understand what the point of that post was. That's it seems random. What does them being 60% of the university students have to do with anything?
Because that means that what we call oppression in the West, they don't say oppression. The women are allowed to be educated with 60%. I said yesterday that 70% of STEM degrees are being done by women. And STEM in the West is primarily a male focus, where 80% of the persons doing STEM in the West is males. White fucking males.
Who would you say? I'm going to challenge you with a question. Who would you say is the most disrespected group of people in the United States of America?
Black women.
Would you say that their education is they're more educated than we are, black men? Or I forgot the term. Fetty brought it up before. They passed us as something in regards to education. What I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's more degrees or more advanced degrees. Yes. So I don't. So wouldn't it be safe to say two things could be true at one time? I don't think showing that there's 60% of a system. Black women are the most disrespected class of people in these United States of America, and I would somehow say also damn near the most.
Yeah, but we're comparing. Let's use the university degrees. That if black women were primarily educated in the areas of STEM, I would agree with you. But a STEM degree and a liberal arts degree is a total different degree. Black women are more educated in liberal arts. Now, you went to university, and we know the hierarchy of degree, right? Because when I was doing engineering at CAR, when I was 18 years old, and I went to the College of Science.
Before you start telling us that, can you prove that point?
That degrees of hierarchy?
Just the point. No, just the point of the liberal. My point is not to say. My point is, and I don't even know if that's Chef's point. He just wrote a sentence. But I think I don't like using that two things could be true at the same time. But I think in this particular case, to say that they're the most educated to somehow diminish their oppression, are we now saying that are we saying that the women in Iran are not being oppressed? Because we can't be saying that, right? So then once again, what does that have to do with the oppression of Iranian women in Iran? I'm asking a question. Chef ain't here to explain that.
In what ways are they oppressed? Then we gotta list those out. I mean, it's being wrapped up in a snuggie to the point where only your pupil shows. Is that some oppressive shit?
Hey, Haskell, wait, hold on, Haskell. I would say that's not oppression in itself. It's not oppression by itself, right? But it becomes oppression when there's penalties and punishment for not doing it. That's what it's oppression. Where if you don't do this, there will be punishment and penalties for it.
That's the question I'm asking. Ultimately, true.
That's codified. That's codified in the law.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. I want to list if Astra or anybody knows, list out the things like, okay, if you don't wear the hijab, bitch, you gonna get whipped in the town square. If you don't pray 5 times, then we finna make you we gonna pluck your eyebrows out and do some shit.
Chef said the Iranian women aren't wrapped up.
You should start by age, though. Right? By age.
Oh wait. Before we go forward, hold on. Before we go forward, we got to deal with we're making statements that we don't know are true, and I don't really want to spend hours to find out later that it's not true. So first off, Stupies, I need to find out if Black women's degrees are mainly liberal and not STEM. Because I think if we move forward on that premise, that would be almost disrespectful of us as Black men to do. Second part is, now Chef is saying that they're not even wrapped up in Iran. I think he's saying, he's saying that we're getting Iran mixed up with Saudi Arabia.
No. Listen. I got it right here. Listen.
One mic.
But post it in the back. But it says Article 638 of Iran's Islamic Penal Code, which has long been used against women appearing in public without what authorities consider proper Islamic hijab. The Canadian government research summary quote article says punishment can include 10 days to 2 months imprisonment or up to 74 lashes. After the 2022 protests, authorities pushed the
Mute your mic, Tony. We hear your background or whatever it is. Go ahead, Tony.
After the 2022 protests, authorities pushed a much harsher chastity and hijab law that would expand penalties well beyond the older penal code rule. Rights groups said it included steeper fines, broader punishment of businesses and drivers, surveillance-based enforcement, and in some cases, very severe charges tied to activism against compulsory veiling. Okay, so
we should just deconstruct the education, though. I think that was the thing. It was education.
No, we're gonna go back to education, but see, like, remember, because we don't have one thing I think we should do if we're gonna. I don't think too much has to change in here. I don't like to fuck up people's speech.
All right, let me answer. Let me answer the question that you asked, right?
Okay, answer that and then let's move forward.
Health and medical administrative, 21 to 26%, right? The degrees. Human service and community organizing, 20%. Social work, 19 to 22%. Public administration, 17%. Criminal justice and fire protection, 20%. So if we add up all the degrees that Black women possess, 80% between 79 and 74% are what? Liberal arts degrees. And if we split health and administrative services, we can call it 90%. So 10% of Black women degree is STEM.
Okay.
All right.
That's good to know. That's good to know. I want you to put that in the chat because sometimes your comprehension is Western.
No, nobody comprehension. Nobody comprehension.
No, he don't mean your comprehension.
I don't
he
mean
means
comprehension. I use the wrong
word. He means
word.
your diction. Your diction.
Yeah, like your No, not even how he's saying it. No. His he has a bias on certain things, so I'd like to read it and see if I get the same thing that you get.
Oh, I thought you were talking about his accent.
No, I enjoy the accent at this point. I couldn't stand it.
No, it's fucking with me, but guess what? It's fucking with me, but guess what? I enjoy it because I tell him I stop playing with him. Me and Asket me and him is a fucking total war.
Hey, but Brass, before you go down that road, right, Brass? Let's just establish your ironclad point.
Go ahead.
Yeah.
If we're being honest, the talking point of the degrees is being offered as a counter to the notion that these women are being oppressed.
Right.
Can we be honest about that?
Yeah, right. I think that's why Chef put it in there. Yeah.
Now, if that's established, Brass's point is that a group of women or a group of people could be immensely educated, and that has nothing to is mutually exclusive from the oppression bit.
Yes,
basically
that's
is
what he's saying.
Yeah. So but yeah, go ahead.
So here's my point, right? So now let's get into Chef's point about the point about 60% is correct. They make up about 60% of the university students, but there are legal rules in this country that treat men and women differently under their Islamic legal system. Inheritances, women receive smaller shares than men. Divorce rights, testimony in some courts, and guardianship of children. There is a mandatory hijab law. women in Iran are legally required to wear a head covering in public. Enforcement is carried out by the morality police, historically known as the guidance patrol. Fines, detention, and warnings. There was this law became globally controversial after the death of Mahsa Amini in 2022 while she was in morality police custody. Also, women can work as doctors, professors, engineers, and scientists, but they are excluded from certain political and judicial roles. They cannot be president, and most high-level clerical or judicial positions they cannot do. You need permission from your husband to obtain a passport, and you need permission from your husband for certain international travel. The reason why it's complicated is because they have high education participation with strict religious-based legal restrictions. So you get a society where women can be highly educated, professionally skilled, but subject to laws that international human rights groups consider unequal. So the world believes that whatever Iran is doing to their women, along with them going to school 60% of the population, 60% of the university students are women. The world believes that they're being treated unfair.
You know that only about 50 years ago that women in America needed their husbands co-signed like buy houses and get credit and all of that sort of stuff.
You know what else I know, Haskell?
Hold on.
No, real quick. This is important.
Go ahead.
This is important to your point. That you are a person also that discourages whataboutism at every turn.
No, but I'm going somewhere else with it though.
Okay.
There's another thing I was gonna bring up. The fact that women that a man in America, I could take my shirt off right now, walk around the streets, no problem. A woman can't do that, right? That's unequal, right? Now I say that to say this. Human beings go through social evolution. America was allowed to go through their social evolution. Even the way how I related to women, growing up in Jamaica or whatever, it's not the same. I don't think the same way that I did 20, 30 years ago. So my basic point is, unless it's something where there's like wholesale slaughter, where it just passes the threshold of just vile inhumanity, you have to allow people, nations, populations to evolve and grow on their own time. It's not your place to be playing moral police, especially when we know it's not genuine. You're only weaponizing certain fucked up shit to get off some fuck shit that you really want to do. So that's all I want to say.
That's a good point.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to read something that kind of throws the fact that they are as educated as they are out the window, because in terms of them trying
educated. Hold on, just so we're fair. To be fair to the Jewish barber, he didn't say educated. He just stated they participate 60 out of the 100% of participation of Iranian students. 60% of women. He didn't say they were educated.
They're growing.
Okay,
they're evolving.
All right. So even on that point,
true. But a point in time, they couldn't even drive and shit like that, right? And even in Saudi Arabia,
no. Not in Iran, in Saudi.
Not in Iran. I'm talking about Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia. So I'm speaking in general terms. Even in Saudi Arabia, where they're the most repressive and backward and shit, right? Yeah. Even in dumb backwards ass places, you see an evolution happening. In Somalia, they trying to get them to stop trying to touch them 6-year-old girls, and them niggas was crying about that shit. They want to be able to keep, get marrying 6-year-olds, right? But the fact that they try to introduce legislation shows that shit is getting chiseled away at.
Haskell, here's the problem.
And we gotta let that shit occur organically. It ain't our place to be
the problem is, right, it can occur organically if the few people within Iran that are trying to protest the Islamic regime are getting gunned down in the streets in the thousands on certain days. So like that, like the way it would happen
But we were
organically
getting
is
lynched by the hundred.
hold
Stop
on.
being a
The way
hypocrite. Stop being a hypocrite.
the way it would happen organically, right? Because you're right. Nations do go through social revolutions, and those social revolutions are usually revolution. They work hand in hand. It requires a revolution most of the time to force revolution. So I'm saying it has to work from the inside, like you said. But the problem is when the state is gunning down the people that are trying to force that social change, right? Whether that those people are a minority or a majority. The problem with Iran that's a little different than Saudi Arabia is Iran has gunned down thousands of their protesters.
Man,
That's what I was saying.
No.
They
Let
dropped bombs
me
on
rebut that.
Oklahoma.
Just really quick.
No.
That's what I was saying before.
Let
It's the
me rebut
people
that.
who owns the
Hold on.
sovereignty.
Let me rebut that.
It's who owns the
Let me rebut
sovereignty. Some governments don't give sovereignty to the people, and some governments do. Like Venezuela, sovereignty belongs to the people. So if the people revolt, hey, you know, it's all about what the people want. So whoever goes in there and helps them, that's great. And Iran is weird because, like I said before, I don't even know if they have sovereignty in that country at all.
Can I rebut that as Brad? This dude is acting like Malcolm X didn't get a fucking bullet in his chest and in his head. Like John F. Kennedy didn't get a fucking bullet in his head. Right? Not Malcolm. That Martin Luther King didn't get a fucking bullet in his head. This dude come on this panel and is talking about sovereignty and protection of citizens.
Thing though.
Wait,
yeah,
what?
I don't think I said any of that. I don't think I said any of that.
I apologize. I was on the phone.
You're talking about me.
Let me finish speaking.
Catch me up, Stupid. Who are you talking to?
He's talking about.
Who is he, brother? Who is he?
He's talking about me. Talking about
Tony.
me.
Okay, Tony. Like,
yeah.
The only thing I'm objecting to, though, the only thing I'm objecting to, those Stupies, is why is the tenor? Why he a op though? Like, why is the energy
because
like?
he's always an op, bro. He just be treating them nice. Tony is always an op to Stupid.
Because Tony is an op.
Got a weird thing like
that ain't Tony. That's
no, he's talking about Tony.
To it though.
No, but wasn't that true that? Hold on, real quick, Stu.
We're trying to figure out who you talking to.
Yeah. Hold on, Stu. I must be getting mixed up. I thought that was True that made those comments that you were into. That was Tony?
True is up to.
If you look at the
wait. I hate to say it. True and Tony are both ops. My bad.
If you look at the Venezuelan Constitution, everybody has a constitution. If you look at the Venezuelan Constitution, the sovereignty lies with the people.
Okay, we heard you, Tony. I'm gonna let you respond. I'm gonna let Stupies go on his drill.
Okay.
And let him do his drill, and then after that, I'm gonna read the chat because the chat is cooking. We just ain't reading it. Go ahead.
Look. I said.
Real quick, Stu. I thought real quick, Stu. I thought real quick. I thought that was True talking. Now that I know that it's Tony. Okay, proceed.
No, Haskell. I was talking. But
wait, so Haskell, Tony is an op too? This is where we going, bro?
I didn't say that.
I'm making a deduction in your famous words.
No, change it. No. Do what you did yesterday and convert deduction to assumption.
I am assuming. I agree. But I'm making an assumption that it's okay because Tony is an op too. Also, okay, that's my assumption. But go ahead. Truist, take 5 seconds, and then we're gonna let Stu cook. Take 5 seconds to say, and then we're gonna let Stu.
Haskell. That was me talking when I said you need to let the people, whether they're the minority or majority, have the social revolution. You can't gun them down, right?
Right. So that
he's not responding to.
But he's not responding to that.
Stupies is responding to the sovereignty point. And that's the point Tony made about
No. He was responding to the shooting people down and shit in the streets too. That was you, right? True.
Well, let's hear him out.
Go ahead, Stu. Let's hear you out. I'm gonna put you on the big screen, Stu. We give it the respect it deserves. Go ahead, brother. We listening to you.
Look, my thing is that you see these ops that we face now, and them sound very eloquent, and them sound exactly like the white dude, like the Westerner, has been brainwashed and indoctrinized. These fucking ops.
Stupid,
And I don't want
that's
anybody.
their accents, bro. That's just how they. That's
When
how
he
they
on the big
talk.
screen, we can't cut him, bro. He's on the big screen. We can laugh, we can ad lib, but we can't cut him. He on the big screen. Go ahead.
Right.
The world is yours.
These ops, the mannerism and the accent, like how somebody had the accent of the plantation the other day, coming on there speaking like Stephen from Django, calling Malcolm X a nigger. And I didn't say anything as I should have said. Right? Because you call upon the ancestors to curse him and all them generations. But this up now, who sound exactly like the white man, telling you that, oh, these people are suppressing. They're suppressing. Oh, these San Negroes, they don't know anything. They're uncivilized. They oppress their own. And you said, but who doesn't? People are allowed over time. If these people didn't have oil, they wouldn't have the problem. Because prior to the discovery of oil, nobody gives a fuck about San Negroes. Nobody did.
What they were doing over there. That's a fact.
And what they were doing over there. But when they found oil, the first thing they tell you, one of the greatest books, one book I read years ago would tell you that how to confuse a Negro. Just give him a lot of rules.
Hey, I'm just saying though.
But you can't let
Go ahead. He's not done. I thought he was done.
Let me finish. No, they have given these Negroes, and by the time they read the rules, they don't know east from west, north from south. These Negroes are totally confused because they get all of these rules. These rules that tell you that, oh, morality must exist this way. But it's not for me, it's for them. No, it's for you. But you don't get the benefits. Oh, these people dress differently. These people look differently. The same playbook that was played on us is being played on these people, and we don't recognize it. And these Negroes coming here talking about, oh, they are oppressing their own. 60 years ago, people get their head busted. 8 years ago, people had to be running from the south in mass up north, and it wasn't any better. They had to leave the better of two evil. And this Negro come on the panel saying that, oh, they're not as civilized as us. Who is us, Negro? Who is us?
Just so we're clear, right? Because all I'm trying to do right now, real quick,
any of that?
Real quick, Tony.
Wow.
Real quick, right? All I'm attempting to do right now is collate the conversation so that we know there's no friendly fire, who supposed to get shot, getting shot, and et cetera, right? So to be clear, when Stu P's brought up, I put Tulsa up in there too, because they drop bombs on their own citizens, right? It don't get more diabolical than that. He brought up Malcolm getting shot, Martin, JFK, et cetera, right? Just so that we're clear, Stu P's, what you were citing those examples of some brutal shit that we were doing, that was in counter to True's point, because True was the one who was pointing out, them shooting, he says thousands. I know it was like that crazy. But them gunning down people.
So you're right.
Okay.
Let him finish. Wait. Let him finish his thought, because I want to say something.
Real quick. I'm not done. Now, with Tony, I know that Tony fits a particular archetype, and I think Stu P's put the rifle on auto, and because we know who Buddy is, right? He in that archetype, and
I need the archetype explained for you to continue.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
I need it. Bro, we got a chat watching that don't know what you're talking about.
The Chief X archetype. How about that?
Damn. Give me a second. Bro, appreciate you. Go ahead, bro.
So now, try to be diplomatic here.
Just give me a chance.
I'm trying to get in my Mujasi bag, man. I'm trying to get my statesmanship up. All right.
Okay.
You was on some bullshit, Brad. Stop the fuck shit.
I'm just moderating. I'm better moderator.
No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. You
I'm
know
better
what
doing
you're doing.
this job than talking. Trust me.
Listen, bro.
Because you're gonna have to defend Jamaica in a second. That's why I'm telling you.
Not
I hope you
moderating.
stood as nice in a second. Go
This
ahead.
nigga here, dog. You're not moderating. You're agitating. You know what you're doing.
A little bit.
Cut it out. Cut it out. So this is what I want to say, right? Stu Peeve. Tony is an identified archetype. True doesn't necessarily fit in that category from everything we've heard him say. So what I'm saying is put the rifle on auto and be a little bit more judicious of how about you letting them rounds go down range is what I'm saying. Also, you deployed a nuclear bomb on all the black folks who sound like Carl, right? And I want to make sure we not letting them people get some shrapnel they ain't supposed to be getting, because my goddamn little brother talk like that with that accent, and he not on no cool shit, I promise. So that's all I'm saying. We got to get more these weapons. We got to get more targeted with how we deploying these weapons, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, and all I'm gonna say to you, hold on, wait, no rebut. Give me 1 second, because we about to talk about Jamaica in a second. So no, give me half a second, because y'all not reading the chat. I am. First off, if Stu Pease want to drop Hiroshima and Nagasaki, I don't need you to somehow regulate where Stu Pease uses his nuclear weapons. You ain't no fucking inspector or investigator of where he's at in his uranium enrichment. That's one. Two, right now, y'all need to go in the chat, because they killing the statement that you made, Haskell, a while ago about the Sudan. And they're talking about Jamaica. They say Jamaica is Epstein Island compared to what the hell you brought up earlier. Shout out to Said Breeze, Fetty in the building, Howard in the building. There's a lot of people here. Shouts to y'all. If y'all want to talk, just interrupt me. It says Jamaica is real live Sodom and Gomorrah. How can you speak that way, Haskell, about what's going on around the world? In your own world, you don't have no control. Anathema says radical feminism and student revolts were worldwide phenomena. Politics has always appropriated student idealism. Buddha, I think that's anathema. Is it anathema or anathema?
Anathema.
Anna. But Buddha, it's wild to think Europeans didn't care about the Iran area until war, knowing they've been there since Alexander. Damn, he went all the way back to Alexander. Give me 1 second. Jamaica's Epstein Island. The Sykes-Picot Agreement. That's the refinement of oil conversation. Yeah, it says that's a horrible thing to say that you were talking about the Sudan. And Chef made a point about the hijabs a while ago. There are different types of hijabs. They are not all snuggies in places like Iran. It's just a piece of linen pulled over the head in certain places. So, but I'm allowed truest or
let me just say this. Let me just say this.
You could go first, Stu. You can go first, Stu.
Let me go first. You see, when you come on this road, every fucking body's a target. And if you're coonish, and if you're whitish, if you're coconutish, if you're Oreo-ish, if you're outside black and you're inside pure white talking one, I don't give a fuck who gets it. Every fucking body gets it. It could be the moderator, which I want to go up against, but everybody gets it. And with this coonish argument about, oh, these people are uncivilized, it's the same sprinkling freedom fuckery that Chef came with. Now, all of a sudden, everybody jumping in the sprinkling freedom that, oh, these white people are going into Arab land and sprinkle freedom and liberate them, and so they're going to rise up. Remember what Trump said out of his own mouth. We are giving the Iranians an opportunity to rise up and have regime change. They bomb the shit out of them. Has any of them risen up? No. No, them bombing about the shit out of everybody else. So just go and follow this sprinkling freedom, like you're in the Marine, like you get in every day. Hoorah, hoorah, hoorah. Oh, USA, we're going around the world and we're going to save these savages, these non-Christians, these people who don't have Christian value, right? When George Bush said what he said about the stars, he didn't know that most of the stars in the sky have Arabic names. And think it was Christian fucking stars. And you still buy into the bullshit like people was uncivilized before they came up to these Western people. And everybody in this room, when I say Western, you know what I mean. These white racist crackers.
Good lord.
Where's Contrarian now?
Hey, let me ask y'all a question. If an African nation, let's say Abraham Tory, was the one that was going into Iran and doing the exact same thing that the Western or United States of America is doing, would it be so much backlash? Y'all think? What are y'all thoughts about that? If the same purpose was there, but it was a dark-skinned people that did it, what would happen?
Hey, Kyle, I'll answer that because I wanted to respond anyways.
Okay,
I think the answer is probably not, because when I'm bringing up all the different kinds of oppression, because the question was about whether or not oppression is taking place in Iran, and started listing and running down the different forms of it, right? And then Haskell brought up the point, well, if the people within the nation, if they're all cool with their way of life, right, we have to allow them to go through a social evolution, right? So this is where I brought up the point. Social evolutions can only take place if you allow the people in the country, whether the minority of the country or the majority of the country, to move that social evolution. Everything Stu P's brought up about what happened here, I never said I co-signed or agreed with any of that either. I think it was wrong every time a movement happened here that the US government impeded or straight up killed the people in the movements here, because social movements should be allowed to cultivate within the nations without the state killing the people trying to have a social revolution, right? I think that's true anywhere across the world. So to your point, Kyle, what I'm hearing is instead of attacking that, we want to attack the people that are trying to stop that, right? And I understand everything. I understand everything that Stupies is saying.
Wait. This is true. This is true talking.
Yeah, this is the truest talking. This is the truest talking.
And the people who are trying to stop
I'm almost done. I'm almost done. Wait,
person, bro. Did you say the?
Oh, no, let him finish up.
Let the let the truest go.
The truest talk.
Get out the way of the truest. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I need just some real quick. I need clarity real quick.
Yeah, what's up?
And the people trying to stop it are who?
Okay, so hear me out. We're talking about the Western powers, right? I don't disagree that the Western powers have ulterior motives than they're publicly saying, right? That
but
I 100% understand that.
The
Western powers would be the Western powers would be the U.S., it would be Israel, it would be the UK, the European Union,
the Western powers. No, I'm clear on that part. I'm not clear on when you say the people trying to stop it, you're referring to those Western powers. That's what you mean, right?
Yes. And when I say the people trying to stop it, I'm speaking rhetorically because this is the excuse they use publicly. But I agree with you guys on their ulterior motives behind the scenes.
No, you're double speaking.
Wait, let me finish. Because I had to sit here and listen to you tell me what the hell I'm saying, and I didn't say 90% of what you're saying.
I know you're double.
When I'm speaking to wait, be quiet, brother.
You're talking the truest. Show some respect. This is the truest we're talking about.
So when we're talking about Kyle's point, getting back full circle to what Kyle was saying, right? If Burkina Faso went into Iran for the same public reasons the West is stating they're going into Iran, if he did that, right, I don't think we'd spend as much time talking about what Ibrahim Traore has done to his nationals as we would be talking about what Ibrahim Traore is publicly saying his reason for going into Iran is.
You know, this Negro just come on board and he says in a fancy way. Him saying that black people or people who are not white in the world needs a white savior. That's what this fucking Negro just said. This fucking Negro have a white fucking savior complex and he said it fancily. That's what he fucking said. And people in this room didn't grasp that this fucking Negro need a white savior.
Racism gotta be studied.
Hey, true.
Hey, I gotta make a quick statement.
Don't respond in kind, true.
Wait. Let me make a quick statement. Right? In these shows, y'all really gotta stop using the words "I'm letting y'all do this," bro. I don't control what people say. Yeah, if they want to say some shit, they just say it. I don't stop them. I deal with it afterwards. I didn't let him say anything. I'm scared of the truth. He was cool when he was truest. Once he added the "the," you can't stop a motherfucker with a "the" in front of his name. How the hell am I gonna stop? I can stop saying "breeze." I can't stop "the" saying "breeze."
You can't do this Negro. You can't do this Negro to the white man is going around saving people and we're not letting him do it. You never caught that fuck.
No, but he couched it, Stu. He couched it. He said he doesn't believe it.
He didn't say any, like, I'm not sure how
he couched it, Stu B's. He said, I don't believe. He said that's what they're saying they're doing, and I don't believe that that's what they're doing. He said he does believe it's ulterior motives. He said that.
Yeah, no. He putting it up with fancy forward work. He gave you a pile of shit and then disguise it with flowers.
Yeah, you choose a war. Okay. Hey, well,
and he came with that bullshit and he's talking about this white savior complex that a lot of black people have, both in Jamaica and the rest of the world. I'm not talking about here. I'm talking about Jamaica. I know about Jamaicans. So if you see it here, agree or disagree with me.
Why do you keep bringing up Nigeria, African countries?
I'm Nigeria.
No, I'm just co-signing Tupi's point. That's all it is. He's just making the point. He don't want the audience to get the impression that we just jumping on the Yankees. The black.
We're not jumping on the Yankees. We're jumping on these glittering bubble loving Burner man, Ferrari driving.
It's a
Nigerian who don't have fucking road.
I knew that the show would get crazy enough that there would be a blue avatar showing up shortly. Everybody, I don't know.
Hey, I'm not sure. I'm still not.
I knew at some point there would be a blue avatar.
Did y'all hear the lightning?
The
thunder's here.
I ain't hear the lightning.
Can anybody else answer Kyl's question?
I knew this was coming. I need everybody to get their butts out. I want to move this to thunder.
In all seriousness, before Thunder jumps in, because once Thunder jumps in, I get
I'm not going to say.
No, hold on. I'm going to say one thing. And I'm going to let me get this off.
Can I say something right quick?
How can Stu?
Hold on 1 second.
Hold on, one mic.
Hold on,
go ahead. Go ahead.
Let me get this off real quick, right?
Your microphone give me a chance to fix your microphone. That's why I was letting him go. You sound muffled.
My mic. All right, hold on. Let me get it off speaker.
You good right there, whatever you just did. Hold on 1 second.
Yes. I wanted to say this, right? Brother Truist did couch it as being you speaking to the rhetoric of it, right? So that would imply that he doesn't necessarily co-sign that attack by the United States empire, right? However, his further co-signing of the counter argument by Kyle, which is to bring up supposedly despotic African leader, would lead me to believe that it would counter the idea that it's purely rhetorical and that he sort of on some level sees the United States actions as having some kind of nobleness to it. Am I wrong on that? True.
So Hassel, I'll keep my response quick. Me saying that about Ibrahim Traore, I'm saying that because what I'm not hearing anyone saying oppression isn't happening. So that's where I'm saying if another party stepped in for that public statement of we're going here for this reason, right? Nobody's going to
I just want niggas to run right up the middle. That's it. That's all I'm about, bro.
Yeah, what I'm saying. What I'm saying, to put it really simply.
True. I gotta fuck up the whole show. Give me one second.
Nigga, you get.
Did this grown ass Jamaican listen?
I didn't say my middle. I said the middle.
Niggas to run
that ain't no pause.
Middle.
I said the middle. The middle. That's not no pause.
Wait, what's the shit you said after?
Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas certified birthday.
No,
you finished with something else though.
No, don't try to flip it.
I'm gonna rewind this shit.
Hold on, let Jules finish his point.
From the allegation.
Kyle was gonna say something.
Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah. No, I'll just land it here.
To answer that question, though,
I'm saying it this way. I'm not saying
on the record.
On the record. I said the U.S. and the West in general, what they're publicly saying, I don't agree with it. Right? I know they have ulterior motives. Right? Going all
it's still going to be resulting in good.
No.
At the end of the day, that's what you
not necessarily. Not necessarily. The only good that would come from it is the oppression no one's denying stopping, but it could be replaced with worse oppression.
Good.
Not necessarily, because if it leads to more oppression or worse oppression, that's not necessarily good. But what I'm saying is no one in this conversation is denying, or at least I don't hear anyone denying the oppression that's happening. All I hear people talking about the entity that's calling it out. And I'm saying
you need to stick it. I need you to stick your chest out and stand on it, bro. Stand on something, dog. I need you.
Wait. What are you confused? What are you confused about? What I'm saying?
What are you confused about? What I'm saying? Hold on. It's the same thing that's pissing off Stupees, right?
Mm-hmm.
You saying that the reasons they giving is some political bullshit. We got that part established, right? But you're also saying that these people are, in fact, being oppressed. We got that part established, right?
Yes.
Boom. Now, you're clearly saying, in my opinion, that even though it's some bullshit that they on, the fact that it's some oppressive shit going on, and they finna run in there, right? That is gonna be some good shit unless it gets substituted with some more oppressive shit. But what I want established is, and what I want you to stand on is, they fucking them people over there. They fucking them over, and potentially, even if under false premises, the West might alleviate them people getting fucked over. That's what you're saying.
On the record, what I'm saying is they're using a very real reality that the Iranian regime is oppressing its nationals. They're using that reality to justify their ulterior motives.
But it could ultimately result in ultimate good. It could possibly result in what, in your estimation, is moral good. That's what I want you to cop to. You dancing.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. So what I'm saying is it's possible. It's also not possible.
Thank you.
It's 50-50, yeah.
You don't force that man.
Kyle, was you done? Because just for the record, the actual statement was, I just want niggas to run up the middle. That's all I'm about. And then less than 3 minutes later, say, I want you to stick out your chest and stand on it. That's all. So I just want to be clear. I had to rewind it. Shouts to JJ in the chat. I'm gonna do the pause because in the heat of the battle, sometimes pauses don't need to be said in the moment, but we could do that conversation after. But I think it's a good point about the oppression. And I think that goes to the education part. But I didn't really see the hypocrisy he was trying to point out. But if you do somehow think that United States is somehow about to put boots on the ground, regime change, and force them to be a democracy, yeah, I think that would be problematic. That's just my opinion. I think that would be severely problematic. And also, I want to say, I don't think Ibrahim Traore could take over the local 7-Eleven in Texas. But that's neither here nor there, Kyle. But no, I don't think the world would be responding to. Are you saying this as if Ibrahim is a world power and all of that? Are we making all of those assumptions? Or are we saying he's doing this from?
It was a hypothetical.
It was just
but in the hypothetical.
Yeah, I think he's just saying if it was some black niggas doing the shit, would we have the same feeling?
And so that's suspect. I'm just saying. I get what Stu Pease is getting at, but I'm not ready to put the scarlet letter on the truest yet. But it's smelling.
It's right around the corner. It's right around. No, I don't know. That's an interesting question about Ibrahim though. If Burkina Faso
he just
was somehow doing this in Iran, I don't know. I don't think they would care. I don't think they would. Are they saying it's nuclear or are you saying over oppression, Kyle? I'm trying to do the hypothetical as close to what you're describing it in the first place.
Man, Iran was saying Burkina Faso back to 1618. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like Kyle, what was the point of your question? Pretty much, I might have took your question somewhere else.
Ayatollah.
No, you asked,
would no longer exist.
Well, why don't we hear from Kyle why he asked the question? Maybe I took it somewhere else.
I've been trying to answer for like 5 minutes.
We can't hear you. Kyle was trying to get you turn your microphone up. It's low. I didn't hear you. Go ahead, brother.
No, like the purpose of the question was a thought experiment. Is to make sure that we're not reacting from a place of emotions, which was clearly displayed, but a position of logic and reason. And so, like, if we apply the same logic that, like, based on what we know that's been told to us, right, which may or may not be true, but it was the oppressive regime and also the imminent threat onto Israel, right? Those are the two reasons why the United States jumped in. But if Burkina Faso instead of the United States was in that situation, would we still have the same response? That's the question I'm asking, because a lot of the things that we talk about, they all have a underlying race-based ideology.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel that, Kyle, for sure.
Okay. I got you.
Yeah, that's all I was responding to.
And y'all know y'all got Stu Pease on server me, right?
Yeah, because he got all this shit playing in the background. Yeah, he got like horns and shit while y'all was talking.
But hey, perhaps I wanted to read this real quick about the women in terms of them being in college settings and stuff. So in Article 1117 of Iran Civil Code, it states
come back to peace when your shit quiet. Go ahead.
Yeah, the husband can prevent his wife from occupations or technical work, which is incompatible with the family interest of the dignity or of himself or his wife. So it's codified in their law that, you know, a husband, he can prevent his wife from working certain jobs if he feels like it's incompatible with their family lifestyle or shameful or whatever the case may be. So I was bringing that up in terms of saying, again, no matter the education level of a woman in that nation, her husband can prevent her from working certain jobs and fields.
So even with the education,
so the education at that point can be trumped by her husband's will.
Whatever the husband essentially is deciding.
Yes.
Yeah, I can't believe what I'm hearing here.
I didn't even know you was here.
Go
What's
ahead,
up,
Corey.
Wow, bro.
Go ahead, clean
I
them
didn't
up,
even know you
Corey.
was
Go
here.
ahead.
Where you been?
It's so wild, bro.
Can you hear me?
Who's talking now?
That's me talking.
Okay, go ahead. I thought I heard. Is Corey here?
Yeah, Corey.
Yeah, Corey.
Okay, go ahead, Thunder. And then Corey, will you go right after that?
Shout out to Corey. Hopefully you work too. Listen, I just joined in, had some meetings I had to be a part of. But I would ask, I guess the overall consensus, does everybody, well, not everybody, is there a consensus of agreement in what Donald Trump has done thus far? And I did hear y'all just bring up, I guess, democracy, being implemented. I'm sure that ain't gonna happen. Mm-hmm. But what is regime change something that you all, if you approve of what he has done? And that was a good question about Kanye too. But if you approve what he's done, would I guess is regime change or democracy something that you all would be in support of as well?
You mean just to be clear, you mean installing democracy in Iran?
Yes.
Where has it worked that we've done it?
No, I wouldn't approve. I wouldn't approve of trying to install democracy in time.
I don't approve of the way. I don't approve of the way their regime change is trying to be forced to happen. I am a proponent of what Haskell's saying, where there needs to be a social evolution within the country of the people. So my problem is the people that have tried to protest in the country have been killed by the state. So I'm not for putting boots on the ground and forcing a regime change, but I do think there needs to be a regime change because the people that are pushing against this regime are going to be killed.
How can we as Americans sit up here and talk about, well, the state killed some protesters when we do the same shit?
No, not some, Corey. Not some.
It's fucking wild as hell, bro. I don't give a damn like the number ratio.
You're a humanitarian, though.
One mic.
Not tell me the damn number ratio.
One mic. Go ahead,
tell me the number ratio because life is life. Life is valuable either damn way. And do you know, since Donald Trump been in office, 40 American citizens has lost their lives due to ICE in they action. Now, you might know about 3 or 4 or 5 of them, right? But I'm going to tell you that 40 of them, 40 folk, from babies to adults, 40 people have died due to ISIS actions. Now, we're going to sit up here in America and say, well, they're over there. They did something to the protesters. And do you know what America done to protesters?
And don't you want a regime change here?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't want nobody coming over here. I wouldn't want no country. I wouldn't want no country throwing fucking bombs over here talking about, y'all killing protesters.
No, don't you want this administration out of office?
I'm confused.
Absolutely. But I don't want nobody else doing it.
We don't want to bomb them out.
Absolutely, but I don't want nobody else doing it. I want it done electively.
I want the Iranians to be able to do it that way too.
Bro, the truest, El truest. Everybody hold on. Corey, nobody in here, I know what you normally would be doing, but I don't know if that fit. What do you think we're saying? That we are.
No, I'm talking about what not you or nobody else. I'm responding to what the brother said. The brother Tony Lightwork said.
Okay. That was a while ago.
Unless y'all agree that because they killing protesters, unless y'all agree that because they killing protesters, that somehow somebody needs to intervene.
No, that's not what we're saying.
And that's what Tony's saying. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, yeah,
that's not what I'm saying.
I don't
That's
think
not what
nobody.
I'm
All right,
saying.
Hold on, Corey. Hey, Corey, hold
That's
on.
not what
Before
I'm
you
saying.
go,
Whoever he's, I don't know if
No,
I
man,
don't know
you're
if it's
making a
Tony
straw
or
man,
whoever
man.
was
no,
just
it was
talking.
Tony. Tony
Can I
was making
finish?
that statement. But let Thunder
You're
finish
making a
his
straw
what's
man.
his name.
No, I was a straw man. That was a straw man. I was talking about
Second straw man.
sovereignty of countries and people.
Oh, so he was saying under with sovereign. Oh, okay, the sovereign.
Yeah,
country. Yeah.
Yeah.
He still was responding to you.
He doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand that yet.
I don't understand that Iran is a sovereign country.
All right, so this is what we got.
Go ahead, let Thunder finish, bro. Y'all niggas.
No, let dude
I know,
get his
but I
thought
don't
out.
know.
What is he saying? What are you saying, bro? You said I don't understand.
Please be patient, Thunder.
About sovereignty. Something about sovereignty.
Please be patient, Thunder. We're gonna get right back to
it. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Look, yo, Corey, you look it up. Just look it up, and then
look up what? What are you saying?
Venezuela and Iran are both sovereign countries.
You think I don't know that?
Okay, good.
So that's my point. My point is because a sovereign country, whatever a sovereign country is doing, that's their goddamn business. Because again, America and the way somebody treating citizens, they fucking citizens. And then you look at how where black folk come from.
Yeah,
and y'all want to talk to me about some country and the way they treat their fucking citizens? Miss me with that, bro.
If the state was not voted in, it's not a sovereign country anymore. It's been stolen.
Man, stop it.
Hey, Corey,
what you saying again?
Well, he's saying sovereignty means democracy.
I'm not going to a word. I'm not going into a word game.
I'm getting mixed up.
I'm not about to go into a semantic argument with him.
Tony got a completely different argument than me, so I'm gonna fall back.
This is not a backchat conversation. We are live.
Book determines what the sovereign.
You gotta be quiet, bro. You gotta be quiet for a second. This is not a backchat conversation. We're live. I'm sure y'all saying some great shit, but when y'all all saying it at the same time, the chat can't hear you. So y'all got to pause out. If I say stop, just stop talking, please. Go ahead, Tony. And Tony and Corey talk. Everybody else stay out of it. Y'all talk. Go ahead.
No, y'all move on. I'm not. Go ahead. Y'all move on.
Let me finish up.
Okay,
all I was
finish
saying
up, Tony.
is like Venezuela, like Iran, right? They're both the land, the people in the land. The final say goes to the people of that land. That's what I was saying. And everybody's arguing that.
I like the way you.
All right, moving on. Go ahead, Thunder.
Go ahead, Thunder.
All right. Now, first, I wanted to point out how Stu P, since he said something, he did use the word Negro, and when I use the word nigger, it's a problem now. So we need to kind of
don't even need to be. This is what I'm saying. Y'all entertain the wildest shit, and then when a nigga be like, "Yo, that shit's wild as hell," and motherfuckers shouldn't even entertain it, right? Y'all say, "Well, it's a perspective." Right? So we on here sitting up here watching some wild ass nigga talking about nigger and nigga and nigger, right? Where the fuck are we at in America here? Where the fuck is a black America at?
We just heard you.
Are we a bunch of fucking fools? No, I'm asking a question.
Yes.
Are we a bunch of fucking fools where I have to sit and listen to a nigga talking about nigger? And act like he has a point. Now y'all finna come to me and act like this nigga finna have some type of real fucking point.
Hey, Corey, can we get some?
Hey, Corey, I need to.
Maybe this is not. I don't think this is the place.
I need you to pause out for 1 second.
I don't think it's the place. Because we sitting up here about to listen to a nigga. Like everybody was all ears.
Corey.
I was like, come on, man. That ain't what we doing.
Y'all gotta stop this thing with this. I don't know if I'm supposed to be here and all this. These conversations be so fucking crazy. He said one word, and you just went off like we allowed him to talk for 5 days. Literally yesterday, Corey, you said, I got you on mute. I want you to respond, but I know concrete Corey and the difference. Yesterday, you said, when we said, yo, this nigga is talking wild as hell. We talk about contrarian, about to kill them all and let God sort them out. You said, and I fucking quote, that literally we fought in this country for him the right to be able to say what's on his mind. Less than 24 hours later, because you don't like what Thunder about to say, now Thunder can't talk, bro. We only heard him say nigga. I didn't hear nothing else but you after that. So I don't even know what he about to say, bro. And stop saying y'all. Put names to this shit, please. Let Thunder, let him finish, or Corey, take 2 seconds, but we can't have the double standard when it comes to that. And you agree.
All right, can I talk now uninterrupted then? Since you muted me and got yours off, can I now talk and be uninterrupted?
You cut Thunder off. You say I interrupted.
Okay, so no then.
Go ahead, Corey. Hold on, Thunder.
So again, you talk. I was talking to Haskell yesterday. When I was saying,
right about your parents.
Yeah,
right,
so I wasn't even. I don't like.
Right,
What,
you're correct.
Y'all got me fucking confused again.
You're correct. You're correct. You're
like
correct.
y'all don't be hearing. See, I'm not some wishy-washy ass nigga who don't stand on what the fuck I'm saying every day. Like y'all be having me confused. So now let me say, hold on. Now you got your shit off uninterrupted. And then I asked, can I have my shit without being interrupted?
You got it. I'm on mute.
Okay, I appreciate it. Now, what I'm saying is, again, I know you said y'all keep saying, well, say somebody's name. Well, I can't read off every nigga in the fucking chat that was about to listen to a nigga say tell y'all about nigga and niggers. Right? Now, again, my family went to war to fight for free speech. But again, do I have to listen to somebody disrespect the legacy of goddamn it, the black people? Like nigger? We gonna sit up and listen to this nigga. We know where he going. We all know where he going with the nigger and nigga. But again, we will sit up and say, well, you don't even know what he was about to say. But go ahead. You know what? Go ahead, Thunder. School them on nigga and niggers. They all ears.
All right, you finished?
Go ahead, Thunder.
Powerful
All right,
niggardry
so,
at work here.
So the point, I don't know what Corey, this is what it is. Now, I know Corey was hospitalized and he got some stuff going on, right? In his with his mind and stuff. I know that, right? So I try to be patient with him and allow him, because he don't listen to nothing. He ain't listen to nothing I just said. He just rants without cease. I said, Corey, Stu Pease just came on here and used the word Negro several times, and nobody had a problem with it. But when I use the terminology nigger as it relates to MLK, everybody had a problem with that. So what I wanted to do was establish is using the word Negro all of a sudden cool.
Y'all gonna sit up
now
and
we're gonna
listen
cut
to
me off
that.
again. All right, there we go. So
This is what I'm saying. Y'all thought I didn't know what he was gonna say. I thought I didn't know what he was gonna say.
Every time you talk,
y'all thought I didn't know what he was gonna say. Well,
I'm gonna come on and interrupt.
We got the word nigger out. I don't know what he was gonna say.
Every time he talks, hey, Brad,
some of the dumbest shit you ever heard in a fucking life come out of a black man's mouth.
It ain't gonna be no one
We didn't know that the dumbest shit that you can hear come out of a black man's mouth was gonna come out of Thunder's mouth. We didn't already know that.
Brad, you still not
But here's the thing. Here's what we can do.
I'm gonna just ruin the whole show, and then I'm gonna just talk over
I know that sounds good, but give me a second.
Thunder, please.
That sounds good, but give me a second, because now y'all. We can just all stop. We could just all stop. Because at this point, I think everybody is just whatever. We could just stop. Because I don't know. Y'all look to me to police what the fuck y'all saying, who could talk, what they could say, this, that, and the other. I'm not, that's not my job, bro. And I don't know who the fuck y'all think I am. I control niggas, what they could say, and this, that, and the other. I'm not doing that. So if y'all don't want to hear what the fuck Thunder's saying, or y'all don't want to hear what Corey's saying, you don't got to cut them off. Just Thunder, I'm asking you for the sake of the show so we can continue. We got your point about the Negro and what's 2 pieces saying. Let's make that a separate conversation, but it's going to end the show if we stay on that path, Thunder. And I want to finish the show and your thoughts on the war in Iran. If you could do me that favor. But at this point, we just gonna end up ready to kill each other. So I'm asking you to we get it, but it's a show ender, whatever the hell.
I don't even know how we get him saying, well, if he says Negro, then I call Martin Luther King a nigger.
Hey, I appreciate it. I tried my best. Hey, I appreciate y'all.
Don't get that. Ain't no way. See, y'all.
I appreciate y'all.
The thing is, y'all be quick to critique.